Call Zondatech Ghana Limited on 0501 772222 or 0501 773333.
Zondatech Ghana Limited, proudly assembled in Ghana, driven by excellence.
Last year was the first. This year, we go bigger.
2.0, Charlie.
Accra, get ready. From the 28th to the 31st of May, 2026, the ultimate auto and homes fair lands once again at Good Park, Accra Mall. Looking for a new car?
Push to start.
Your dream home.
Home sweet home.
Or the latest home appliances to spruce up your space.
Soft life vibe.
This is your one-stop shop for the best mortgage deals, expert advice, and unbeatable offers from our auto, real estate, and home appliances partners. Don't just dream it. Come to Good Park from the 28th to the 31st of May 2026 and own something special.
Save the date.
Wheels and Homes Fair is powered by Fidelity Bank Ghana Limited. Fidelity Bank. Believe with us.
If I believe with us, Fidelity. If I know I day your side, Fidelity.
You are listening to Citi 97.3 FM, the city's finest.
There can be no other 97.3. No need to change. Keep it tuned to Citi. You're number one. Don't look no further. We've got it all covered. Citi FM.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
morning, my neighbor.
Good morning to life.
Good morning.
Music, talk, inspiration, in perspective.
Express yourself. Good morning, my neighbor.
Citi FM, your station.
It's a refreshing lifestyle.
Citi FM 97.3.
Signs and wonders all around me. I'll be swimming in abundance. I decree and I declare it's over my life.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show.
Everybody,
The city's biggest conversation.
We'll be full of testimonies, signs and wonders all around me. I'll be swimming in abundance. I decree and I declare it's over my life.
I woke up with the fire in my spirit. Every promise that you spoke, I'm gonna live it. Doors open when I step into the hallway. They were waiting for me like you knew my name. Every valley that I cross will turn to highway. Every prophecy will come to pass in Jesus' name. Amen.
We'll be full of testimonies, signs and wonders all around me. I'll be swimming in abundance. I decree and I declare it's over my life.
Say one more time, say this year.
We'll be full of testimonies, signs and wonders all around me. I'll be swimming in abundance.
This year will be full of testimonies, signs and wonders all around me. I'll be swimming in abundance. I decree and declare this over my life. I woke up with a fire in my spirit. Every promise that you spoke, I'm gonna live it. Doors open when I step into the hallway. Favors are waiting me like it knew my name. Every valley that I cross will turn to a highway. Every prophecy will come to pass in Jesus' name. Alright. Over my mind, over my house, over my time. It certainly will be. I'll put his word into action. Abundance everywhere. I decree and I declare. Thank you, Joe Metal. Tell yourself what's going to happen. Don't wait for somebody to speak evil and then you cancel it in Jesus' name. Be proactive. God gave you a mouth to control your environment. Open your mouth wide, he says, and I will fill it. Learn to master confession. It's the master key to dominating your environment. He says, I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which your enemies cannot gainsay or resist. It means there's power in that which comes out of the tongue. Death and life, they say, are in the power of the tongue. So this year, I will swim in abundance. And I will excel in my calling, using the power of radio to make a difference. Business Sense brought to us by Absa Bank. This year you will finish your house, you will get a mortgage, you will pay it back, you will not be in debt. Yes. Absa knows this. That's why they are helping you say yes to building your own house or buying one with an Absa mortgage. You can finance your dream home with flexible tailored solutions up to 5 million CDs. 5 to 15 years to pay back. Your story matters, Absa.
Every prophecy will come to pass in Jesus' name.
Ghana is building, Ghana is moving, and Zonda Tech, your one-stop automobile shop, is proud to be part of this. From heavy-duty trucks like Sino Truck to premium SUVs like Great Wall Motors and pickups from Cherry, Zonda Tech is making it happen. Vehicles built to international standards, supporting Ghanaian jobs and driving our industrial future. Choose locally assembled excellence. Choose Zonda. And get ready from the 28th to the 31st of May. The ultimate auto and homes fair comes your way at the Good Park Kakra Mall. Is it a car? Is it a home? Is it the latest home appliance? Fidelity is pushing this. There are auto offers, there are real estate and home appliance offers with our partners coming through the Good Park from 28th, 29th, 30th and 31st. 4 big days. It's called Wheels and Homes, powered by Fidelity Bank GH. It's an interactive show. Your comments make it happen. So let's get into the headlines, the news review segment. Starting you off with Caleb Kudah and Mr. Akob. Gentlemen, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
I like the spirit.
Yeah.
The weather wants to confuse us.
Yeah.
But we are very focused.
Yes.
We would not be dismayed.
It will be a very bright day today.
I'm telling you.
Except that last night was very, very dark and hot.
It appears there's a lot of different things happening. Are you talking ECG or you're talking
ECG?
Oh, your car went off again.
Charlie, right from the junction all the way to the Kulungungu, everywhere dark.
Oh, sorry. I had light, so I don't know.
Mine came at dawn, so
we have to live with it. Let's start with the graphic.
Yes, please.
Okay, daily graphic newspaper this morning. President unveils homegrown healthcare funding. 3 billion Ghana cedis unlocked from uncapped NHIS, and that 1 billion cocoa financing plan to deepen domestic bond market coming in from the Bank of Ghana. And then MOH set to recruit 6,000 volunteers for free primary health care.
Well, the Ghanaian Times leads with healthcare as well. At the 79th World Health Assembly, failing health aid threatens millions. President Mahama cautions world leaders, and governor of the Bank of Ghana calls for prudent decisions to sustain disinflation. Minority leader warns of job losses over 1D1F cancellation, and on the fight against Galamsey Minerals Commission pilots drone surveillance in Western region. And on the back page, we are told Ghana has recorded decline in multi-dimensional poverty, according to a report by the Ghana Statistical Service.
The Daily Guide front page, Wontumi denies Exim Bank 14 billion Ghana cedis fraud charges. They have a photo of him here. And then Hanan and wife gets 63.5 million Ghana cedis bail. And NSA scandal, court admits gift to Yowari ADB Bank documents.
The Chronicle, Mahama tells Geneva Forum uncapping NHIS funds unlocks $300 million for healthcare investment in Ghana. Goldfields rejects claims of neglect in Takwa communities, and BOG warns of rising inflation risk as Middle East crisis deepen.
The Daybreak, IGP breaks record with massive police intake, and then after trade hits $220 billion as Africa pushes for economic integration amid global uncertainty. And then Damang sells gold to Gold Board.
Right. The Ghanaian publisher, minority leader Blas Mahama, accuses him of reviving criminal libel to muzzle critics. NDC 2028, Pratt reveals growing bitter rivalry, and NPP rejects government's IMF lies. Wontumi trial, former Deputy Lands Minister to testify, and NPA targets illegal fuel bunkering.
The Informer newspaper, danger as NPP threatens revenge over political harassment. They have a photo of the General Secretary, Justin Frimpong Kudah, here. And then TUC vows fierce resistance as IMF pushes ECG privatization. And don't reduce NDC to money-making vehicle. Fifi Fiavi Kwete warns NDC appointees.
The Economy Times, hands off Goldfields, veteran journalist slams IEA populism over Takwa lease renewal, and government looks away from Eurobond market, prefers to stick with domestic bonds for now. Wage crisis mounts, only 32% of salaried workers able to save amid structural weaknesses. Bernard.
Let's go online, citynewsroom.com. Ghana risks outsourcing economic sovereignty under IMF PCI. This is ISODEC. Also, Ablekuma North ranked best performing district in Ghana's multidimensional poverty index. Richmond China says loss-making SOEs are fueling Ghana's debt burden. Theo Champon rather thinks IMF PCI will strengthen credibility and discipline as well as reforms. Meanwhile, US has introduced a temporary travel restriction over the Ebola outbreak in Central Africa. And then other headlines, tidal waves, Maureen needs urgent humanitarian program or support, according to NADMO. And then Marking's attack on Circuit Court Judge unethical. This is the GBA speaking. Channel 1 News Online.com. EPA shuts down mining site belonging to former Impoho DCE. In other headlines, GBA rejects claims of MPP buyers over silence on Apenyo Marking remarks. Kofi Juma released after meeting 30 million CD bail condition. And PAC queries disappearance of Labour Ministry vehicles procured in 2011. In other headlines, Chereponi SHS students stage protests over poor feeding, demand removal of school heads, and Chairman to me please not guilty in the Exim Bank fraud case. MyJoyOnline.com leads with Mahama was the biggest obstacle to Ibrahim Mahama's Damang bid. This is Felix Kwachi Ofosu. Also, why no defense minister yet? Communications Minister says Mahama sees no urgency. Meanwhile, government seeks to buy 30% of gold from miners to boost reserves and the central bank. And I'm sure you've seen the video. Sam George Abenor clash over poor network service and delays in fixing faults. Now, there are a number of stories from across the world that are of concern. There's an Ebola outbreak in Central Africa, and we are talking DRC in particular. So the BBC, for example, says at least 131 dead in Ebola outbreak in DRC, officials say. And there's a very damning story around why Ebola and why stopping the outbreak is so difficult. Some of those stories are trending all over the African continent. All right, so let's start from where? The health sector?
Okay, yes, I would want to start from the health sector. And President unveils homegrown healthcare funding. A story starting from the front page of the Daily Graphic by Kester Abram Crunchy. Now, President Mahama has stated that Ghana is looking inwards to fund its healthcare needs and announced a series of domestic measures that will move the country away from donor dependency. Now, President Mahama was delivering the keynote address yesterday at the 79th World Health Assembly in Geneva, Switzerland. He revealed that uncapping the health insurance scheme fund has freed up an additional 3 billion Ghana cedis for healthcare investment. I think this comes at the back of the withdrawal of the US aid sometime.
Well, the irony is that while Africans are in Geneva talking about health, in our own backyard in DRC, Ebola has killed 131 people. So sometimes we need to ask ourselves, should we really be attending these conferences or spending more time back at home? Because if you read the BBC, the story says at least 131 deaths have been reported in an Ebola outbreak in the DRC, with more than 513 cases suspected, according to local officials. A spokesperson for DRC government said cases were now being reported over a wider area. There are also 2 confirmed cases and 1 death in Uganda. According to U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention. WHO has declared the outbreak of the current strain of Ebola, which is caused by Bundibugyo virus, an international health emergency. So whilst we're talking health financing in Switzerland, there are pressing matters at home. Indeed, there's an analysis about why the Africa region is always attacked by Ebola. It's a very interesting article. Ebola comes back to haunt a beleaguered African region. African leaders must set up and deal with these health matters.
Yeah, I think on that yesterday, the health ministry released a statement detailing the preparedness of the country ahead of that. But let me bring you another quick story on health. MOH set to recruit 6,000 volunteers for free primary health care. The Ministry of Health has initiated plans to recruit more than 6,000 volunteer health professionals, particularly nurse assistant preventive personnel, to support the implementation of government-free primary healthcare initiative.
Okay, so away from health, I take you to the center spread of the Ghanaian Times to consumer issues, and consumers are not getting value for money. This is the NCA telling telcos. The National Communications Authority, NCA, has expressed concern over poor network service delivery and inadequate coverage by telecom operators, noting that many consumers across the country are not receiving the quality of service they pay for. The authority has therefore indicated its intention to hold service providers accountable for improving service delivery, particularly in the area of capacity expansion, development of new sites, transmission upgrades, power reliability, and the rollout of advanced technologies. Its Director General, Reverend Edmond Urenchi-Fianco, said the authority would closely monitor the implementation of roadmaps submitted by operators to address these challenges.
Meanwhile, a heated exchange erupted at the Public Accounts Committee sitting between the Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation, Samuel Attah-Mensah, and the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee, Bernard Avle, over what you just read: poor network service delivery and delays in addressing the challenge. The confrontation began while Samuel George responded to concerns raised by the committee members over poor telecom service delivery and delays in fixing the challenge. Defending the government action, the minister argued that policy direction and leadership were necessary to ensure consumers were protected despite the profit-driven nature of the private telco industry. But as he continued his submission, Chairperson and former Deputy Finance Minister Bernard Avle attempted to interrupt and urge him to go straight to the point, triggering a tense confrontation between the two lawmakers. Meanwhile, Samuel Attah-Mensah has been telling journalists that there is no bad blood between himself and the chairman of the committee. He indicated that there's no bad blood and that Abna is a friend. Maybe that is why our exchanges were heated. We do this in our regular conversations, but the fact that we are friends does not negate the fact that work has to be done.
Ghana records decline in multi-dimensional poverty. This is the Ghana Statistical Services report. Ghana has recorded a general decline in multi-dimensional poverty across its districts over the past 5 years. The latest district-level multi-dimensional poverty estimates and ranking report released by the Ghana Statistical Service has reviewed. The report indicated that multi-dimensional poverty incidence dropped from 24.3% to 23% in 2025, with 250 out of the country's 261 districts showing improvement within the review period. Now, multi-dimensional poverty, the report explained, reflects the lived experience of deprivation beyond income, capturing overlapping challenges such as poor health, malnutrition, lack of education, unsafe housing, and unemployment. More details on the back page of the
I have some
Times.
quick details here of that. If you go to citynewsroom.com, the rankings are given. The latest PI rankings released by the service, statistical service, have identified several districts in the Greater Accra region and Ashanti as the best performing districts in Ghana between 2021 and 2025, reflecting sustained improvements in living conditions, education, health and employment. According to the report, Ablekuma North Municipal emerged as the overall best performing district, recording an average poverty head count of 8.5% over the past 5-year period and maintaining a place among the top 10 best performing districts every year. Wow. Ablekuma West, the Godfred's area, municipal followed closely with an average poverty incidence of 8.6, while Kole Klote, Adabraka and Osu recorded 8.8, so they are the third best. Ladade Kotopon and Tema West also ranked among the top performing districts, highlighting the dominance of urban municipalities in reducing multidimensional poverty. Other districts that feature prominently in the rankings include Ayawaso Central, Ayawaso West, Krowo, Lejokuku, and Asokwa in Ashanti. And the details of the report are available on our website.
Okay, meanwhile, TUC vows fierce resistance as IMF pushes CCG privatization. Story in The Informer newspaper, Newsdesk report, the Deputy General Secretary of Trades Union Congress, Dr. Kwabena Nyakun Otu, has declared that organized labor would fiercely oppose any attempt to privatize the Electricity Company of Ghana, insisting the power distributor must remain under public ownership. Now, his comments come on the back of renewed pressure from the IMF on Ghana to accelerate private sector participation in ECG's operations as part of broader reforms aimed at stabilizing the economy.
Well, he's against privatization. Dr. Tuaheni says GIHOC and other state transport and SOEs must be privatized. But of course, Dr. Edmond Tuaheni, the banking consultant, has stated that GIHOC Distilleries Company Limited, state transport and other non-strategic SOEs should be operated by the private sector. He raised a concern about the financial burden posed by some SOEs following government's decision to transition to IMF's PCI. And of course, this is related to what you just read.
Meanwhile, Imani Boss is urging protection for Ibrahim Mahama, Magdan and others in terms of the private sector. Senior Vice President of Imani Africa, Kofi Bento, has called for greater political tolerance and protection for Ghanaian businesses, warning that the country risks crippling its own economic progress when enterprises linked to perceived political figures become target after changes in government.
Well, I stick with labor and wage issues, and the Economy Times says wage crisis mounts. Only 32% of salaried workers able to save amid structural weaknesses. Adan Adams Mohammed writes that a burgeoning financial crisis is gripping Ghana's workforce as a new study reveals that a staggering 68% of salaried employees are living month to month with zero savings. And the data paints a grim picture of a labor market characterized by starvation, wages and deep-seated structural flaws that threaten the nation's long-term economic stability. A study which surveyed thousands of formal sector workers formal sector market now what was this? Okay, so of formal sector market now noted that its 3-year hiatus has no.
I think you're reading.
No, I'm reading a different. But it says across the country, it found that only 32% of respondents managed to set aside any portion of their income after meeting their basic needs like rent, food, and transportation. Final paragraph.
So only 1/3 are able to save.
Exactly.
2/3 are unable to save.
Exactly. And for the vast majority, the rising cost of living has effectively decoupled wages from the reality of survival. So details are on page 4 of the Economy
Okay,
Times.
let me take you to the court now, because a buffer stock case, Hanan wife gets 63.5
So that's
million
Daily Guide, right?
bill. That is, the Daily Guide newspaper. Story by Gabriel Abdul Razak. Now, former Chief Executive Officer of National Food Buffer Stock, Hanan Abdul Wahab, Alidu and his wife, Faiza Seidu Wuni, yesterday were granted a bill of 63.5 million Ghana cedis for allegedly stealing and causing an amount of 62.6 million Ghana cedis financial loss to the state. Now, Hanan was granted a bill of 60 million with 2 sureties who must be justified, while Faiza Seidu Wuni was granted a bill of 3.5 million Ghana cedis with 2 sureties who must also be justified. A quick one on that, because the Chairman Wuntumi has denied Exim Bank 14 million Ghana cedis fraud charges. Still in the Daily Guide, page 6, story by Gabriel Abdul Razak. The Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, Bernard Avle, popularly known as Chairman Wuntumi, has pleaded not guilty to charges of allegedly causing 30 million Ghana cedis financial loss to public body in the course of business transaction with Ghana Export-Import Bank.
Meanwhile, the former MD of GIHOC Distilleries, Kofi Juma, has been released after meeting his bail conditions following a reduction of his bail sum by Iyoko. He had earlier been unable to satisfy the initial 65 million bill condition imposed by the institution. Speaking to City News, counsel for the former GO boss, Nanabenyi Akon, said his client was able to secure sureties and subsequently fulfilled the revised bill conditions. And then, still on court issues, Afenyomakin's attack on circuit court is unethical, according to the Ghana Bar Association, who themselves are coming under fire from the government minister for government communications. Now, the GBA has condemned comments made by minority leader Afenyomakin against the circuit court judge handling the case involving Bono regional chairman of the MPP, Kwame Boafo, also known as Abronye DC, describing the remarks as unprofessional and unethical. Speaking on the matter, GBA spokesperson Sylvia Kuje, he told Umaru Sound on Eyewitness News that the conduct of the minority leader, who is also a senior lawyer and a chief, fell short of the standards expected of someone of his standing at the bar.
Okay.
Yes. Meanwhile, the GBA has rejected the MPP tag by Ofosu Kwache. This story is on my Joe Online. The GBA has strongly rejected claims by government spokesperson and Minister of State in charge of government communications, Felix Kwache Ofosu, that the association is aligned with the opposition MPP. The comments come amid growing public debate over the GBA's perceived silence regarding the remarks made by Afenyomakin. So basically, the man condemned the statement. A lot of different things up and down there.
It appears there were a lot of court stories yesterday because NSA scandal, court admits Gifty Owari ADB Bank documents. Story, the Daily Guide, Gabriel Abdul Razak. A high court in Accra yesterday resumed the trial of former executive deputy director of the National Service Authority, Gifty Owari Mensah, who is accused of stealing from the authority. Now, the court has admitted multiple documents relating to request and transfer of funds between the NSA and Agricultural Development Bank, funds the prosecution is alleging the accused stole from the state.
Right. Now, the Ghanaian publisher has an editorial that says Ghana can no longer outsource its mineral future. Just a few paragraphs. The call by the Institute of Economic Affairs of the for the government not to renew the Takwa mining lease of Goldfields deserves serious national reflection and support. For decades, Ghana has remained one of Africa's leading gold producers, yet the country continues to struggle with debt, weak infrastructure, unemployment, and underdevelopment in many mining communities. This contradiction should compel us to ask whether the current model of foreign-dominated mineral exploration truly serves the long-term interest. So this is lending support to the IEA's call for nationalism in nationalization in our mineral.
They call it resource nationalism. Now, EPA has shut down a mining site belonging to a former import DC. This is Channel 1 News. Akwesi Jane reports that the Environmental Protection Agency has shut down a mining site belonging to former import DCE Attah-Mensah and one Obedose for allegedly engaging Chinese nationals in illegal small-scale mining operations and operating without an environmental permit. The Deputy Director of Mining at EPA, Harrison Afo, not the footballer, who led the agency's nationwide mining compliance operation in the Mpho district on Monday, said the operators working under the name JK SEM, I Am Gold, were also found discharging untreated underground water into the open environment. According to him, the act constitutes an environmental offense and operators will be made to face the law. We could count several Chinese nationals on site. They are operators. This is the information we have for now. The application they submitted was for small-scale mining operations. The law doesn't allow foreign nationals to undertake small-scale mining operations. Per what we have seen today, the scope of the project goes beyond small-scale mining, he said. And you should see the photos. It's like a whole industrial operation. So we commend the EPA for doing the needful and doing it on time.
Bernard, with the onset of the rains, though, it means that the charges for ride-hailing apps will go up, and those who are unable to afford who are using public transport will be beaten by the rains a lot of the times. Where are the buses the Transport Ministry imported sometime?
That is the question. Where are the buses? The Ministry of Transport will tell us, I'm sure, soon enough. That was the newspaper review segment with Caleb Kudah and Samuel Attah-Mensah. The City Business News is coming up shortly. Stay with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
Good energy powers the things that people do to empower themselves. It fuels families, communities, businesses. Good energy fuels nations. It gets things going and keeps them moving. Good energy isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Goyle, good energy.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
7 o'clock on Tuesday morning. City Business News with Nik Amarteifio. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Welcome to the breakfast edition of City Business News right here on 97.3 Citi FM. It's proudly brought to you by MTN, EcoBank, and Goyle. Goyle Good Energy. Coming up, NCA receives roadmap from telcos to improve network quality from August following rising customer complaints. Also, government target BB credit rating and a new IMF PCI program. Plus, Ghana pushes for 30% gold purchases from miners to strengthen reserves. I am Nik Amarteifio. Many thanks indeed for joining us this Tuesday morning. Mobile network operators have committed to delivering noticeable improvement in the network quality and customer experience from August this year. The assurance comes amid growing public concern over poor call quality, slow internet services, and network disruptions across the country. Director General of the National Communications Authority, Reverend Edmond Urenchifianko, says telecom operators have submitted what he describes as credible roadmaps aimed at addressing persistent service challenges. He was speaking at the 2026 World Telecommunication and Information Society Day celebration.
At the start of this year, the authority required the MNOs to present in detail the underlying drivers of declining service quality and their plans to address them. Those presentations were made. The authority has reviewed them, and we are satisfied that our operators have outlined credible roadmaps covering capacity expansion, new site development, fiber relocation, transmission upgrades, power reliability improvements, and the rollout of advanced technologies. Our operators have committed to material improvements in customer perceived quality from August onwards. So the question now is not whether there is a plan. There is a plan. The question is execution. My message to the operators in this room is direct. The authority will monitor delivery against the timelines and milestones you have committed to.
Reverend Edmond Urenchifianko is Director General of the National Communications Authority. Government is targeting a major sovereign credit rating upgrade under its new IMF-supported policy coordination instrument. The new arrangement follows the country's exit from the IMF bailout program and is expected to support macroeconomic stability, strengthen investor confidence, and sustain ongoing economic reforms. Speaking on Channel 1 TV's The Point of View, technical advisor at the Ministry of Finance, Dr. Theo A. Champon, said the PCI framework could help Ghana improve its current B sovereign credit rating into the BB category.
Currently, we are B, right, in the B band, using the Fitch rating. The target is actually to get to a BB. So you be at a similar level like Cote d'Ivoire or South Africa. If you do the analysis, if you moved up to a BB, you could actually shave off as much as 100 to 200 basis points of the cost of capital or borrowing for projects. And it's not just for the sovereign. For other investors that would be looking to raise capital, the country risk premium for Ghana would come down, right? You also would be in a position, because of the signaling effect of the PCI, to get access to other concessional funding that would come from your World Banks and the African Development Bank and, either bilateral. So we need to look at it in that broader ecosystem, my view.
Dr. Theo Champon is technical advisor at the Ministry of Finance. The latest multidimensional poverty index rankings released by the Ghana Statistical Service have identified Ablekuma North Municipal in the Greater Accra region as the district with the lowest poverty levels in Ghana. The report also highlighted several districts within the Greater Accra and Ashanti regions among the country's best performing areas between 2021 and 2025 on the back of improvements in living conditions, healthcare, education, and employment opportunities. Here's more in the report on the findings, which point to widening development gaps between some urban and rural districts despite overall progress in reducing multidimensional poverty across the country.
According to the report, Ablekuma North Municipal emerged as the overall best performing district, recording an average poverty head count of 8.5% over the 5-year period and maintaining a place among the top 10 best performing districts every year. Ablekuma West Municipal followed closely with an average poverty incidence of 8.6%, while Korle Klottey Municipal recorded 8.8%. La Dadekotopong Municipal and Tema West Municipal also ranked among the country's top performing districts, highlighting the dominance of urban municipalities in reducing multidimensional poverty. Other districts that featured prominently in the rankings include Ayawaso Central Municipal, Ayawaso West Municipal, Krowo Municipal, Lejokuku Municipal, and Asokwa Municipal in the Ashanti region. The findings underscore the significant gap in poverty levels between urban and rural Ghana, while several municipalities in Greater Accra consistently recorded low poverty levels. Districts in the northern part of the country continued to experience higher deprivation rates. The report also revealed that Ayawaso North Municipal recorded the lowest multidimensional poverty incidence nationwide in 2025 at 5.5%. The report further noted that improvements in access to education, healthcare, sanitation, electricity, and employment opportunities contributed significantly to the strong performance of the top-ranked districts.
Daniel Odro-Mensah with that Business Desk report. You are still listening to the breakfast edition of Citi Business News right here on 97.3 Citi FM with me, Ni Latte. In more business stories this morning, Ghana is seeking to increase the amount of gold purchased from large-scale mining companies as part of efforts to strengthen the country's foreign reserves and support long-term currency stability. Government is therefore asking major gold miners to sell 30% of their annual gold output to the Bank of Ghana under a revamped reserve accumulation program, up from the previous 20% arrangement. However, mining companies say some key commercial terms under the new proposal are being negotiated. The move comes at a time when central banks around the world are increasing their gold holdings as rising global gold prices boost the metal's attractiveness as a reserve asset. Well, data from the Bank of Ghana show Ghana's gold reserves increased to 19.2 metric tons in February this year, contributing to improved external reserve buffers and relative exchange rate stability. Government is now targeting the accumulation of up to 157 metric tons of gold by 2028, equivalent to about 15 months of import cover. Now, the financial sector recorded a strong recovery in 2025, with total industry assets rising to more than 647 billion cedis by the end of the year. This is according to the 2025 Financial Stability Review published by the Bank of Ghana. There is more in the following report.
The report highlighted significant expansion across the financial system. Total sector assets increased from 525.59 billion Ghana cedis in 2024 to 647.25 billion Ghana cedis in 2025, representing a year-on-year growth of 23.2%. Although this was lower than the 34.7% growth recorded in 2024, the sector's debt improved, with total assets rising to 45.1% of GDP from 44.4% a year earlier. The growth was largely supported by strong deposit mobilization and recapitalization efforts across the industry. The banking industry continued to dominate the financial sector, accounting for 75.5% of total industry assets. Bank assets rose from 367.8 billion Ghana cedis in 2024 to 489.5 billion Ghana cedis in 2025, driven by improved financial soundness and enhanced regulatory oversight. The report noted that despite despite the initial impact of the DDEP, banks have rebounded on the back of sustained profitability and strong liquidity levels. The sector also recorded significant improvement in solvency indicators. The capital adequacy ratio increased from 14% in 2024 to 17.5% in December 2025. Despite the positive outlook, non-performing loans remain a major concern for the sector. The industry's NPL ratio declined from 21.8% in 2024 to 18.9% in 2025. In response, the Bank of Ghana has introduced stricter credit underwriting and enhanced loan monitoring measures aimed at containing credit risk.
Citi Business News' Netili Nete Ajahu filed that report. On the forex market this morning, the dollar is trading at 12 cedis 20 pesos, the British pound at 16 cedis 25 pesos. That of the euro could be sold to you at 14 cedis 10 pesos. Mind you, these are average forex bureau rates and not the Bank of Ghana's interbank rate. And that's it for the breakfast edition of Citi Business News. Our top stories this RNCA receives roadmap from telcos to improve network quality from August following rising customer complaints. Also, government targets BB credit rating under new IMF PCI program. And Ghana pushes for 30% gold purchases from miners to strengthen reserves. These stories and more available on citynewsroom.com/business. I am Nila Tilati. Do have a good business day.
Je m'appelle.
Je m'appelle.
Je m'appelle.
Mappé. Et Mappé. Hey, Asamo. French, you dear. This is midi croissant.
Meet Aja. She makes sobolo in a small shop in Kaswa. She's going places with MTN Ejumapa. Now, she's learning French Kakra to teach her francophone customers indigenous recipes.
Watashi no namae wa.
Watashi no na. My boy.
Whoa. She's learning Japanese too? Watash. What? If you're a woman with a small business, join MTN Ejumapa today by dialing *5060# and enjoy 150 megabytes data, a lifestyle bundle for social media, free MTN to MTN calls every Monday, and an insurance cover. You will also gain access to expert training, discounts on digital tools, and financial support to grow the business of your dreams. Terms and conditions apply.
MTN.
Your attention, please. Flight C8 has been delayed.
Again. Madam, can you please point me to the water fountain? And please watch my back and phone whilst I'm gone.
You can be a traveler with infinite worries.
Hello, Mr. Anand. Your lounge access is ready and your seat is warm.
Or you can be a traveler with infinite privileges.
Champagne, sir?
The region or the drink.
Choose EcoBank's infinite privileges with an EcoBank Visa Infinite card. Access airport lounges worldwide, fast-track services, best-in-class daily limits, and enjoy other exclusive travel and lifestyle benefits. Infinite privileges await. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
L to the L to the L to the L. Hey.
13 after 7, Caleb Kudah here. Nila Latte went by with the Citi Business News, brought to you by Girl, EcoBank, and MTN. If you're looking for quality fuel that gives your engine smooth performance, don't look any further. Girl Super XP, premium quality, gives you the correct choice when buying regular fuel. Girl Super XP, fortified with special additive that gives longevity to your engine, makes your engine perform to the max, using minimal fuel that takes you further. As you journey the road, look out for Girl stations and fuel up your vehicle with quality you can trust. Girl Super XP, Girl Good Energy. Attention! If your money is controlling you, now it's time to take charge. EcoBank mobile app gives you the power to command your money to transact across 33 African countries, anywhere in the world. So command your money, make water, electricity, and school fee payments, bank and mobile money transfers, create virtual cards to buy only what you need and more. Money Commander, download the EcoBank mobile app now on the App Store or Play Store. Command your money Command also means paying attention to details. We do not call or send SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card or Ghana card details. When in doubt, call the EcoBank call center on 0800 003225. EcoBank is the Pan-African Bank. So, are you a business owner looking for a smarter way to keep an eye on your shop, your restaurant, your office, or your warehouse anytime, anywhere? Well, MTN Business Eye is here for you. Keep your business secure anytime, anywhere, and MTN Business Eye is that smart surveillance solution that gives you the total visibility and control. It's powered by Wi-Fi, SIM connectivity, cloud storage, and solar energy, so your security never sleeps, even when the lights go out. Enjoy 24/7 monitoring, real-time alerts, two-way audio, and reliable backup, all at affordable rates. Dial star 5060 hash and keep your business in sight always with MTN Business Eye. MTN everywhere you go. Kickoff is next, and Edwin Kwakofi is here to serve you the latest in the world of sports. Before then, Lesheho Savings and Loans has great news just for you. Fala season is on, so apply for a loan today to sort out all your needs at the best rates on the market. Just WhatsApp or call Nana on 02700 4799. Always remember, terms and conditions apply. Lesheho, let's improve life. And just before Edwin comes in, imagine a world where your power never fails, your data is always secure, and your business never stops. That's the world Left Signature Limited is building every single day. From expert electrical engineering services to cutting-edge renewable energy solutions like solar and microgrids, Left Signature keeps your world powered and protected. Our data center and cloud services ensure maximum uptime, seamless connectivity, strong disaster recovery, so your business never misses a beat. We also deliver custom applications, ERP systems, and AI-powered solutions designed to boost productivity and drive growth. So download the LEP Power app from the Apple Play Store. Access the web version. Call 02561 111 811 or visit leftsignature.com. You can stop by our office at Lashibi North Celebrity Estate. Left Signature Limited, driving progress through technology and engineering excellence. Edwin Kalkovi is in. Edwin, what's up?
Hi, Caleb.
Yeah.
Yes,
How's the morning?
We're getting ready for the World Cup, and I'm excited.
Right?
Yeah, 23 days.
Charlie.
Teams are naming their squads. We're waiting for the Black Stars to do that.
We've not done that yet.
We've not done that yet. We are waiting till last minute. You know,
people, I see people are gathering for their youth to, Ayu brother to be represented.
Yeah,
people are looking forward to Thomas Partey.
At least one Ayu is going to make it to the World
for
Cup.
now,
whether the other one joins him, that's up for
another
debate.
question. But how's Kudus doing?
Well, chances are he's not going to make it to the World Cup. It's a very serious injury. If he's taken, then the expectation is that we might make it further than the group stage. So maybe as we get deeper into the competition, he might play a role. But chances are he's not going to make it.
We hope for the best.
We hope for the best.
Saka with the delivery, swings it in this time, and header one and in. They score from another corner, and it's Havertz. On 37 minutes, he rolls the highest. Burnley's resistance is broken.
A priceless header from Kai Havertz at the Emirates puts Arsenal within touching distance of the Premier League title. We'll bring you more reactions from North London and also some developments surrounding the 2023 African Games. It's 23 days to the FIFA World Cup. Welcome to Kickoff, which is powered by Politan Ghana. Lesheho, let's improve life. Good morning, I am Edwin Kwakofi. Well, the road to the 2027 African Cup of Nations qualification officially begins today as 48 African countries await the outcome of the qualifying draw in Cairo, Egypt. The event is set to take place at the headquarters of the Egyptian Football Association from 12 noon. The draw will split the participating nations into 12 groups of 4, with Africa's biggest football nations occupying the top seed positions. Morocco, Senegal, Nigeria, Egypt, Algeria lead pot 1, while Ghana and Cape Verde headline pot 2. Co-hosts Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania have already booked automatic qualification for the tournament, but will remain part of the qualifying series to stay competitive ahead of the finals. Under the format, the top 2 teams in each regular group will qualify automatically, while groups involving a host nation will see the highest ranked non-host team progress together with the host. Let's move to athletics, where the Minister for Sport and Recreation, Kofi Adams, has dismissed claims of poor conditions and inadequate equipment at the recently concluded African Senior Athletics Championships in Accra. The minister insists athletes use their own vaulting poles during the competition, despite growing criticism over the organization and technical standards of the event. Citi Sports' Bernard Avle has more in this report.
The African Senior Athletics Championship in Accra was hit by a number of concerns from the start of the competition. Reports ranging from poor accommodation and food shortages to claims of substandard equipment for some athletes. However, the Minister for Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adams, has dismissed suggestions that Ghana's local organizing committee provided 40 voting poles for the event. According to the minister, athletes from all participating countries arrived with their own voting poles and competed with equipment they were familiar and comfortable using. Kofi Adams made the remarks while speaking to journalists after appearing before the Public Accounts Committee in Accra.
The event generally went well. We had a few challenges at the start with power, to be able to power some of the equipment, but later all that was resolved. In the course of the competition also, we witnessed some athletes whose voting poles broke, but people thought that those voting poles were provided by Ghana. No, every athlete who took part in the pole vote came with their own voting poles. The voting poles provided by the LOC was not used, and it's a standard thing. Yours is to provide the landing surface, the crossbar, and then the stand poles.
The sports minister also rejected allegations by a South African athlete that competitors endured poor living conditions and food rationing during the championship. He insisted organizers made adequate arrangements for athletes and officials throughout the competition and maintained that the event was successfully.
We did not make provision for any athlete to be fed 9 eggs. If any athlete has special diet, there's a form that you fill so that the LOC can factor those needs in. Nobody filled the form that they needed that kind of special diet. So one athlete speaking on some levels of need should not have become the running story.
That was the voice of the Minister for Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adams, ending that report by Citi Sports' Bernard Avle. Now, fresh controversy has hit the aftermath of the 2023 African Games after the Public Accounts Committee uncovered millions of Ghana cedis in questionable expenses linked to the tournament. From an undocumented 35.8 million Ghana cedi police deployment claim to an unsupported 455,000 cedi hostel bill, MPs on the committee say key financial records are simply missing. The revelations triggered sharp criticism in Parliament, with officials of the local organizing committee and the Ministry of Sports and Recreation coming under intense scrutiny. There's more in this report by Citi Sports' Julio Eshifiamwa.
Fresh controversy is trailing the 2023 African Games as Parliament's Public Accounts Committee raises serious red flags over millions of Ghana cedis and questionable expenditure linked to the event. At the center of the storm is a 35.8 million claim submitted to the Ministry of Finance for the deployment of 6,000 police officers during the games, a request the committee says came without supporting documentation. Even more worrying, PAC says the separate 455,000 hostel bill was forwarded to the Finance Ministry for payment, but again, no records were provided to justify the charge. For the committee, it paints a picture of what they describe as weak financial controls around one of Ghana's biggest sporting events, with ranking member Samuel Attah-Mensah visibly frustrated by the findings.
Now, unsupported claims, 35.8 million. Just for 6,000 police officers. 6,000 police officers. That was the so-called, I don't know whether they call it Africa Games or All Africa Games.
Chairman, is African Games.
It's Africa Games. And they spent 35.8 million 2024 for police officers. And we don't have documentation on it. How? Ministry of Sports. How? And you want to sit here and come and argue? Go to a time. Ministry of Sports. We used to change a minister almost every year. Ministry of Sports. We used to change a minister every year.
But appearing before the committee, local organizing committee chairman Dr. Kweku Ofosu-Asare offered a different account of events. He told PAC that the Ghana Police Service initially supported the games as part of basic security operations, even requiring the organizers to cater for their logistics. However, he explained that the police later withdrew mid-tournament, only to return after the event with a multi-million cedi bill, a development he described as deeply surprising.
This was the bill submitted by the police at the end of the games, and I was really baffled when the bill was submitted to me, because we didn't reach that agreement. Initially, they were to have policemen to assist in carrying out his duties. We were initially even feeding them. Then they pulled out. And from nowhere, at the end of it, they brought this bill. And I wrote to them to justify why such a quantum. And they couldn't justify. So that is where we've gotten to.
With multiple claims now under scrutiny and key documentation reportedly missing, the committee is expected to continue its probe into how funds for the African Games were managed.
The report was put together by Citi Sports' Julio Eshrifi Amwa. To the Ghana Premier League, and the communications director of Mediama, Benjamin Willie Graham, says the club is weighing plans to move their final league fixture against Accra Zufuk away from Accra to Takwa. He explains that the idea is to give supporters in Takwa the opportunity to celebrate the club's league success at home.
It's still a conversation being, discussed. Typically we have to be in Accra to play our game, and then eventually be crowned. Hopefully everybody wants to play coronation match in front of a home fans, have full house, be nice on TV and all those things. So it's more or less a conversation that is being put together. But like I said, I wouldn't want to go into details on that one. Today is Monday. Hopefully by tomorrow, Wednesday, we'll get to know what the decision will be. If we are being Accra, we'll definitely be in Accra and be crowned the champions. If the otherwise, we'll also wait for further confirmation.
Okay, so and confirm say game in the.
That was the communications director of league champions Mediama, Benjamin Willie Graham. Let's head to England, where Arsenal have moved 5 points clear at the top of the table after a hard-fought win over a relegation threat in Burnley. Let's hear from Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta.
I think in the first half we played some of the best football that we've played this season. We were very unfortunate not to score 2 or 3 goals, and then there was the story of the season as well. If we cannot do that, make sure that we are extremely efficient, defending certain moments, not giving anything away to the opponent, and winning the 3 points.
That was Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta. And Manchester City are preparing for Pep Guardiola's exit after Sunday's Premier League match against Aston Villa, and he's expected to leave the Etihad Stadium at the end of the season. City maintain Guardiola has a contract for next season and are hopeful he will remain as manager, but there are reports that Enzo Maresca is being prepared as a replacement. And that's the latest in the world of sports. For more on all these stories, visit citysportsonline.com. Kickoff was powered by Politan Ghana and Lesheho. Let's improve life. I am Edwin Kwakofi. The Citi Breakfast Show with Bernard Avle continues.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
If you need unique services, innovative financial solutions, we deliver on our promise, cause we are number one. Let's go, we improve your life. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, mama. Hey, mama. Hey, mama. Even when you're stuck with nothing, no matter your situation, let's go, we improve your life. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, mama. Hey, mama. Hey, mama. Let's go, we improve your life.
The Money Matters segment is brought to you by Petra. Petra, achieve more.
Welcome to the Money Matters segment with Petra. Think about it. You and your colleagues all depend on the same pension system at work. So why not talk about it? A simple conversation in the office can lead to a company-wide review, and that review can make a real difference. The free pension health check helps you evaluate the health of your pension. Start the conversation and book a session by visiting our website at www.petraonline.com. Petra, achieve more.
The Money Matters segment was brought to you by Petra. Petra, achieve more.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Every day, I wake up and realize that my child's day depends on the choices I make. The clothes she wears, the water she drinks, and the food I select make all the difference. I do all this with love. Cerelac gives you more ways to show love to your child. The Cerelac wheat you have trusted for years now has a no-refined sugar variant, both made with equal care and love. Because when it comes to your children, every choice matters. Cerelac. More choice, same trusted nourishment. This advert is FDA approved.
Madam, give me fufu elaisu, please. Do you have beef?
Yes, please.
Give me. Do you have salmon?
Yes.
Give me. Do you have tilapia?
We have.
When your money starts to work for you, there will be signs. Invest with EDC today.
How many?
Just keep going until I say stop.
Find out about EDC's investment products and start today. Financial independence is possible with EDC.
For further assistance, call 0326 34165.
Is your electricity bill too high? Let me show you how to control your energy costs and save a lot of money. Make maximum use of daylight. Use LED lights and open your windows to create a cross airflow. Only turn the fan on to slow or medium speed when needed. Adjust the temperature of your refrigerator to the optimum range of 5 degrees Celsius to 7 degrees Celsius and the freezers to -18 degrees Celsius. Use your AC wisely. Don't set the temperature lower than 25 degrees Celsius. It consumes about 70% of the electricity in your homes. Change outdated equipment like motors, pumps, compressors, and boilers to energy efficient ones. Conduct a systemic audit and improve the efficiency of your significant energy users. Implement a standardized energy management system like the ISO 50001. Visit www.valcotrustfund.gov.gh for more energy saving tips and messages to save more money. This energy conservation advice is brought to you by the Ministry of Energy, Energy Foundation, Valco Trust Fund, PURC, ECG, Bui Power Authority, Gridco, and VRA. Control your energy cost and save money.
Now have freedom. Dear business owner, congrats on not giving up on your business. You deserve a medal, and your business deserves to be taken to the next level. In fact, it's about time you run a Zenith Bank SME account so you and your business can enjoy the perks of the Zenith SME Business Card. Oga and Oga Madam status.
The Zenith SME Business Card is a Visa debit card for making secure payments for goods and services. Enjoy great benefits such as free customized digital SME training, free marketing toolkits, access to Visa practical skills training, and more. Unlock the potential of your business today. Visit any Zenith Bank branch nationwide and sign up for the Zenith SME Business Card, the ultimate payment solution for SMEs. For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com.gh or call 0302 680-884 or 0307-086-370. Zenith Bank, in your best interests.
Is your home and office protected against crime? Trelidor, Africa's strongest burglar-proofing, provides fixed and sliding burglar-proof solutions for homes, shops, and offices. Trelidor has given Ghanaians peace of mind for over 20 years with the highest international standards backed by a 5-year warranty on materials and workmanship. Choose Trelidor. Call 0561 24 24 24 or simply Google Trelidor for more information. Trelidor, Africa's strongest burglar-proofing. More flights, more flexibility from Accra. Fly conveniently with Air Peace and enjoy 25 non-stop flights weekly from Accra effective 1st April 2026. Now offering multiple daily non-stop flights from Accra to Lagos, giving you more options and greater convenience. Travel further across the region with non-stop flights from Accra to Freetown on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, and Accra to Monrovia on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays. You can visit us at the Terminal 3 Departure Hall at the Accra International Airport or our sales office on the first floor of the UNA Home Building adjacent to Marina Mall, Airport City, Accra. Contact us on +233 200 827 609 or +233 501 619 339 or via email at accra.pse@flyairpeace.com. Air Peace, your peace, our goal.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
I wish the way I was living could stop. Serving rocks, knowing the cops is hot when I'm on the block. And I wish my brother would've made bail so I won't have to travel 6 hours to see him in jail. And I wish that my grandmother wasn't sick or that we would just come up on some stacks and hit a lick. And I wish my homies wouldn't have to suffer when the streets get the upper hand on us and we lose a brother. And I wish I could go deep in the zone and lift the spirits of the world with the words within the song. And I wish I could teach a soul to fly, take away the pain out your hands and help you hold them high. And I wish my homie Butch was still alive and on the day of his death we had never took that ride. And I wish that God could protect us from the wrong so that all the soldiers that were sent overseas come home. And we will never break, though they devastate. We shall motivate and we gotta pray, all we gotta spay. Instead of thinking about who gon' die today, the Lord is gon' help you feel better so you ain't gotta cry today. Sit at the light so long and then we gotta move straight forward cause we fight so strong. So when right go wrong, just say a little prayer, get your money, man, life goes on.
I'm hopeful, yes I am hopeful for today. Take this music and use it, let it take you away. And be hopeful, hopeful, and he'll make a way. I know it ain't easy, but that's okay, cause we hopeful.
I wish that you could show some love instead of hating so much when you see some other people coming up. I wish I could teach the world to sing, write some music and have them tripping off the joy I bring. I wish that we can hold hands. Listen instead of dissing lessons from a grown man. And I wish the families that lack but got love get some stacks. Brand new shot in the lap that's on dubs. And I wish we could keep achieving wonders. See the vision of the world through the eyes of Stevie Wonder. You feel me? And I hope all the kids eat. And don't nobody in my family see 6 feet. You dig? I hope the mother stands strong. You can make it whether you with them or your man's gone. And I wish I could give every Sally some conversation.
7:39 Citi Breakfast Show. Many birthday requests coming through on the show this morning. Happy birthday to a man of leadership, SRC President, NMTC Tepa Ashanti, Coordinating Secretary of GNMTA Ashba. Oh, that's Ashanti and BA, Emmanuel Mensah. Enjoy the day. This is coming from Ampofo King. Happy birthday to Emanuela Na Kokoi, an epitome of beauty and a woman with a great heart. Your passion for success is one that reminds me of being young and ready. God bless your new age from your gentle giant to Emanuela Na Kokoi. Happy birthday to the founder of Airport View Hotel, Mrs. Elizabeth Fori Juma, retired Chief State Attorney, from your daughter Adjoa and your sons Kofi, Etienne, Francis, Mark, and David, as well as staff of Airport View Hotel and the QAD Agro. Also wishing her on this day her townsfolk of Dema in the Ahafo region, who are extremely grateful for her leadership in the family. Afishiapa Auntie Elizabeth Forijuma, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Patience Ankama Ado, aka Mana. This is coming in from Rich Nik Amarteifio. I call him the fishman. So Mana, happy birthday to you. You are 50 years old today. May the lines fall for you in pleasant places. Today also happens to be the the birthday of my beautiful and lovely wife Linda Na Dede Ayite, journalist with the Health Desk Ghana News Agency. As you mark this milestone in your life, may God continue to bless you with wisdom and good health. Continue to move from glory to glory. Thank you for all the sacrifices you make for the family. I love you so much. Enjoy a wonderful day, Didi. From your husband Charles Ehun, Ando, and the children Becky, Akomapa, and Besiwa. Happy birthday to the MCE of Tema, Ebby Bright. And happy 8th birthday to Kadiva Ama Teki Delo of the New Nation School. You are indeed our sunshine. Stay rooted in the Lord. Kadiva Ama Teki Delo. And to Oswella Nkrumah of Carl Bank Laboni branch. May the lines fall for you in pleasant places. Coming in from Sika and Tobre. Kele, please help me. There are a few more here.
Yes, this one says, I don't know if you've done this one, the founder of Airport Grace.
Yes,
so,
I've done that.
Good morning, Bernard and Kayla. Please wish my cousin Nana Kofi Sian in 3 of Takwa Umat a happy birthday. May God strengthen and comfort him as he mourns the loss of his dad, Mr. Patrick Sian. Oh dear. More strength and grace to you. Happy glorious birthday to Ni Osabukwashi Mpese the first Akwashi. Okay. Akwashonche of Mpesa Royal Family of Ghana State, coming from Abeku. Okay. Good morning, Bernard and team. Today is birthday trio. Happy birthday to my daughter Esinam. She is 7 today. The Lord bless you and favor you all the days of your life. You're an incredible daughter. Happy 4th birthday to my niece Valerie Abeya Nkuma, and a happy birthday to my cousin Karen Sawyer Esquire. You're an amazing woman, and we are blessed by your life. God favor you all the days of your lives. Now your grandma and the entire family sent that.
A couple more. Help me wish my nephew Nyamiye and Nyamiye Mensa Lawson Justine Agbeka of Advanced Savings and Loans Ashaman branch, and our first ever female mayor of Tema, Honorable Ibi Bright, a glorious happy birthday. I pray the Almighty God continues to protect, bless them, and give them wisdom, knowledge to excel and keep them safe. This is from Etonam in Kakasudnaka.
station that powers relevant radio. This is Citi 97.7.
Sometimes the pain is what we need for us to grow. Yeah, yeah. So when it's time for me to look into my deeper side, I will find a way to hold on to the love inside. It's time to be.
We need to remember it's time to be bigger and stronger. And you can do so much more for your education at IDP Education, where our counseling and application support services are completely free, helping you save your finance while securing journey opportunities abroad. Your journey begins with IDP Education Ghana, your trusted global partner for study abroad services and IELTS testing. We offer expert-free support for study in US, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, and Canada. Visit us at Osuakweje and in Edum in Swase, Kumasi. Call 0202-566-614 or 0542331052. Mother's Day may be officially over, but a mom's love never expires. If you are searching for that perfect way to say, I see you, I appreciate you, to the woman who's giving you everything, this is it. Give her a moment she'll never forget at Beposo Wellness Resort. It's at Ebri. Whether she's the creative type, loves a bit of a gentle adventure, or just needs quiet time to breathe out and recharge, Beposo has an experience made just for her. It's not just a day out, it's restoration, recognition, and care delivered beautifully. Book now. Call 020-055-7699. That's 020-055-7699. Beposo Wellness Resort, because she deserves everything and more. Meanwhile, the Morning Star International High School wishes to announce the enrollment for their 2026-27 academic year. Programs offered are the Cambridge Lower Secondary, IGCSE, A-Level, and WASI. Enrollment forms are available at mostarschool.edu.gh or buy them from the high school or business school campus. Entrance exam is on Saturday, 23rd May. The venue is the Morning Star School, Cantonments, and Dodowa. Be part of an enriching learning community where the tradition of excellence continues. Call Morning Star School on 0243-758-795. Morning Star, arise and shine. And if you're into agribusiness, retail, mining, hospitality, manufacturing, trade, or logistics, then you need a partner that understands your business, and that partner is Absa Business Banking. You get tailored solutions such as working capital, asset and trade finance, merchant solutions, and digital banking support designed specifically for your business needs. So whatever stage your business is at, talk to an Absa Bank relationship manager today. At Absa Business Banking, we get it. That's why we are here for you. Your story matters. Absa.
Let's talk about Henley and Partners. They are the global leader in residence and citizenship planning. They help investors and their families secure alternative residence or citizenship through leading programs worldwide. They advise on the best program for you and your family and assist with the entire application process every step of the way. So whatever your driving force is, whether you're looking for alternative residence and citizenship for greater global mobility, investment diversification, business expansion, or you want access to world-class education and healthcare, well, we are the ones for you. Popular options for many Ghanaians include Caribbean citizenship programs like Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, as well as residence by investment programs in Greece, Portugal, Malta, UAE, UK, Canada, and the US. So please call us now, 0206 042101. Email is ghana@henleyglobal.com. Visit the offices at the Galleria at Kempinski, Gold Coast City Hotel, at Gold Coast Hotel for free consultation. Visit henleyglobal.com to find out more. Everyone is a winner in the Ongalicious Abingwaha promo. Over 4 million Ghana cedis worth of cash and prizes up to be won. Just look out for the special Ongalicious promo pack. Find 20 of the Onga powder promo sachets and 20 of the Onga shrimp tablets and send them to any of our redemption centers. You will receive a scratch card and it will reveal a unique code. Send it to *7 *113*27#. You will win instantly. Cash prizes up to 200,000 Ghana cedis, and there are deep freezers, smart TVs, kitchen appliances, and more. Promo runs till the 15th of July. Hurry, don't miss out. Terms and conditions apply. And well, there are moments when the alarm rings, life begins to ask so many questions. Campus, office, hustle, Charlie, dreams are waiting to be chased. Those are the moments when you need something that helps you show up and keep going. That's why Cowbell Coffee should always stay with you every single moment, whether you're grinding for an exam, pushing deadlines at work, or cooking up the next big thing. Every moment matters. Let Cowbell see you through. Cowbell Coffee, we day with you every moment. The Lexus University College is inviting students, workers, and the general public as well who are seeking world-class education in a premier university, or you want to have a market-driven professional qualification, you want to top up your diploma to a degree, come to us. We offer BSc nursing, midwifery, all the way to cybersecurity and digital forensics. We have other courses. When you log on to thelexusuniversity.edu.gh, you will see all the others, and then you apply there as well. We are located at Tama Community 25 at Peace B Junction. Call 0551-198-100. Admission is in progress. Bernard, quickly, Lawrence Attah-Mensah is listening in Turkey. Today happens to be his birthday. Yesterday was his birthday, so belated happy birthday to you, Lawrence. Thank you for always doing the listening.
And a couple more. Please wish my son Nathan Fifi Jemfi a happy third. May the Lord continue to bless him from his mom and dad. And happy birthday to my buddy Miss Araba Elizabeth, a med lab student at Takrady Technical University, coming from Brandon. All right, this morning I'm a bit concerned that whereas the general incidence of poverty is said to be declining, there are still some very, very poor places in Ghana. And what worries me is the regional disparity. So the poorest districts are all in the northern part of the country. And the districts that have done well are all in the heart of urban Accra. So that suggests that the rural-urban migration is not going to stop anytime soon.
True.
Because, and this is a very different measure of poverty. You know, in the past, poverty was measured based on just income.
Yeah.
So they would look at GDP per capita of X amount, or if you can spend $1 a day or something. But these new dimensions have four. Your living conditions, your health, your education, and employment. So for living conditions, we are looking at what kind of cooking fuel do you use?
Yeah.
What is your source of drinking water?
Okay.
What kind of assets do you have in your home?
Okay.
What kind of house do you live in? And is the house, what is it? Do you have the tiled floor? Do you have just bare floor?
Okay.
Is your wall made of concrete or mud?
Right.
Is there overcrowding? How many people sleep in a room in your house? What do you have electricity? Do you have toilet in your house?
Access
So basically, what multidimensional poverty does is it moves the discussion away from simply money to real conditions of life. So for health, for example, you are asked about your nutrition, health insurance coverage. For education, you ask about school attendance, school attainment, and school lag. And then employment, we discuss employment. All right. So for example, if your household uses solid fuel and cooking is not done outside the home or in the open, or cooking occurs in enclosed spaces, that means you are deprived. For water, if your household drinking water is from an unclean source, into bracket tanker supply, a vendor provided or unprotected well, you have a multidimensional poverty problem in water. If you drink from an unprotected spring or river or stream or a dugout or a pond or a lake or a dam or a canal, or if you need at least 30-minute round trip to get water, you are poor when it comes to the water dimension. If you do not have more than one small asset like a TV, radio, or telephone, or a bike or motorbike or fridge or computer, or you do not own a big asset like a car, you are multidimensionally poor based on that dimension. If your household uses inadequate flooring like earth or mud, or walls of earth or mud, or palm leaves or thatch, or grass or raffia, you are multidimensionally poor. If a household on average has more than 3 people per sleeping room, you are deprived. If your household does not have electrical power, you are deprived. And if your household has no toilet facility or uses bucket or pan or a public toilet or shared toilet outside the house, you are deprived. Now, on education, if any child between age 4 and 15 in the household is not attending school, that means that that's a deprived household. It's also deprived if no household member has received at least 9 years of schooling, or deprived if the household has any pupil who is 2 or more years behind in school relative to his or her age. On health, a household is deprived if one child under 5 is underweight, stunted, or wasted. A household is deprived in health if anyone in the household is not covered under any health insurance scheme, either through registration or non-renewal. And then on employment dimension, you are deprived if no member 15 years and older in the household is employed. Now, what I find troubling is that consistently districts in the northern, northeast, and upper east region have been the worst performing. So for 2025, listen to these places: Tatale Sanguli, where is that? In the north. Krachi West, Oti. Saboba North, Mion North, West Mamprusi Northeast, Mamprugu Moadogri Northeast, Bumprugu Nankpanduri Northeast, East Prusi Municipal Northeast, Chereponi. It's the same enclave, and Yunyo. These are the worst performing districts. So the poorest people live in this place. Right? Now, why is this a problem? The best performing districts are all around here.
So it means that it becomes the attraction center for everyone.
So my worry, though, I don't know whether to solve the problem is to go the London way or to go the, if you take the UK and Germany, they have two different models. So the UK, about 40% of the economy is London. All right. So whereas the rest of the UK is not that poor, they've built a lot of assets in the center, and everybody benefits from the center. But if you go to Germany, they've spread the wealth a bit more around, right? So although you have some large commercial areas, there are different. There's Hamburg, there's Frankfurt, there's Dusseldorf, there's Munich, all right, Cologne. It's not as top heavy as the UK is. So what I'm trying to say is that by way of focus, should we have a more aggressive rural development approach, or should we rather develop the urban centers to a point where they can absorb the poor people? I don't know whether that even makes sense to us.
I'm looking at the overall best top performing districts again from 2021 to 2025.
They're all here.
So Ablekuman, even I mean, the first that comes from the Ashanti region is number 10, Asukwa Municipal. From there you go to Lejokuku Municipal, Krowo, Ayawaso West, Ayawaso Central, Tema West Municipal, Lada Dekotopon, Kole Klote, Ablekuma West, and then Ablekuma North.
So basically, those of us around here, all right, we have access to electricity, water, schools, and gadgets. So if you live in Chereponi or Unio, the distance between your house and your school, indeed, I was being told that sometimes the difference between continuing from JHS, primary to JHS, is the absence of a JHS in your school. So if you have a primary school 2 kilometers from your house, if the JHS is 10 kilometers after class 6, he will just drop out of school. You get it? So I feel like we cannot continue over developing Accra. We have, like, I go to
overdeveloping Accra.
Yes, and I'm using that from the poverty context. So, for example, you go to Kaswa, there are so many private schools. You come around Achimota, there are so many private schools. Whilst they may not be affordable, there's a lot of schools for people in urban areas. Now, if you go to where Aminu reports from, maybe it goes to Nankpanduri. Sometimes students walk for 8 kilometers to go to school, and they have to choose between farming and schooling. Right, so on the education side, they are multidimensionally poor. They may not have access to a proper toilet in the house. Okay, so my worry is I'm not sure whether our development effort recognizes this disparity, and whether there's any country that has developed by focusing on the rural area more. Because I look at China, for example, right? I look at, and I stand to be corrected here, large urban juggernauts, all right, A friend of mine came from China recently and said, bro, have you been to the US? I said, yes. He said, have you been to Dubai? I said, yes. He said, you go to US, you see cities with old bridges. You see some of the roads. He says, when you go to China, they're new cities. He said, it's like 5 times Dubai in terms of the buildings, in terms of the bridges, in terms of the infrastructure. He's basically saying China has built modern cities which are functional.
Yeah.
Trains work. Educational system is functioning. All right. So if you go to northwestern China or western part of China, a lot of people don't live there because one, the terrain is very mountainous and it's not very habitable. So a lot of China live in the south and east. Okay. So there are rural parts of China that may not have had as much development.
Yeah.
But their urban areas are world class. My concern is that Ghana, our urban areas are growing quickly, but we even have an urban sprawl. It's not really development. Yeah. And our rural areas too, who are supposed to have the fresh air and the less pollution, they don't have access to
amenities.
Do you see where I'm coming? So I'm not even sure whether we should prioritize rural development or we should rather say, let's make our cities high-tech and functional so that more people can come in.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure which one will work.
These are very high-level stuff, but I'm looking at the report again, and when you look at the key takeaways, for example, point 2, it says, while West and etc. from Plains recorded the highest reduction in poverty, recording 37.9 and 37.0 percentage points reductions.
What did they do?
Respectively. That's the question now.
So maybe
that
GSS,
the China is a bit distant, right? But when we are looking at these people who have improved on the multi-dimensional, what have they done differently over the period to have reduced their multi-dimensional poverty by such a margin?
So maybe we find out from the people put the data together what changed in Wild West and what changed in Central African Plains to reduce their level of poverty on those 4 dimensions. Yeah. Now, what is making this even more serious is that even for urban dwellers as well,
it's not easy, Bernard.
Because whilst we are discussing poverty from the multi-dimensional perspective, there's also an income definition of poverty, Godfred. Now, usually we say citizens that live on less than $1 a day are poor. Okay. Now, there's a report that says that in Ghana, only 32% of people are able to save anything from their income.
Yeah.
Zero.
So 2/3 of Ghanaians are not able to save anything.
At all.
Now, if a society doesn't have savings, and I'm talking of both public savings and private savings, that society cannot create wealth. Because the general knowledge is that a country gets savings. When the savings accumulate, you invest it. And that investment is how you build wealth.
Yeah.
Okay. So if 2/3 of citizens are not able to save at all, then that's poverty coming up. And then you also have a high population. So our population is growing and our GDP is not growing to match it. All right. So it seems as if in the days ahead, we are going to have more problems. So whilst the report says that multidimensional poverty has reduced, I think the big question is whether it has reduced enough.
Yeah.
Because as we sit here, in 30 years, Singapore took everybody out of poverty.
Yeah.
In 40 years, China moved from a third world country to a first world country.
Yeah.
So in one generation.
Yeah.
So basically, from the time your father was a child to the time he saw his first grandchild, maybe when your father was in school, he was in a third world country.
Yeah.
By the time his grandchildren got to school,
we're in a first world country.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm asking myself, what can we do to create such a society?
The report says, for the most part, for many of us, we are one medical emergency away from total destitution.
It's terrible. We'll bring you tech and social media trends.
It's brought to us by Telecel.
And I will come back to this discussion because even people in Accra are complaining they don't have water.
Well,
people in Accra are complaining they don't have road.
Not the ground.
Sometimes when you read these reports, you want to ask yourself, should I even focus on these Accra issues? Or should I go and talk about Bunkurubu Yunyo? So Edwin Kwakufi is here with the segment. Edwin, welcome.
Thank you very much, Bernard. Good morning to you, Caleb, and Godfred as well. So I'm going to bring you a lot of World Cup news, but let's start off with yesterday's confrontation between the Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations, Sam, Will George, and Abena Osei-Asare, who is the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee. So this was a heated debate which has found its way all over social media, and it's because it started when Sam George was responding to some issues raised by the members of the committee over the poor network service of our telcos and how it takes such a long time for it to be fixed. And he was defending his government. Obviously, he said that they are trying to ensure that consumers are protected, even though it's in the nature of these telcos to ensure they also get profits for themselves. So as he was explaining, he was interrupted by the chairperson, and he was having none of it because he felt he was being a little disrespected by the chairperson because they were both MPs, and he felt he deserved a lot more consideration from the chairperson. This led to a back and forth heated
I think
debate,
his point was that he was being interrupted and not allowed to express or answer the questions that were put to him. But the chair also wanted to make some interventions,
and he felt that as a fellow member of parliament and a minister, he deserved a lot more leeway and a lot more consideration.
People like those things, so the video is trending.
Yeah, it's trending really heavily.
What it will teach us,
and the main issue too,
media.
we have moved on from that.
You know, that's the problem. I'm not sure whether the content of that video has anything to our life this morning.
Yes, but he has also come out to say that he has no bad blood with the chairperson of the committee, Abena Osei-Asare, and that it's just one of these things that he had to speak on at the moment. So that's the biggest trend all over social media. Also trending, and this is where I come to the World Cup issues. The Black Stars, their official accounts, they've released a couple of things which people aren't too happy with. First, there was a short video, about a 4-minute video, just promoting the new jerseys of the Black Stars. And it featured AI. It was an AI video, completely AI made.
I didn't have a footballer in real life to use.
And also the voiceover was either AI or somebody who is not Ghanaian.
You didn't sound like us.
Yes, so a lot of the pronunciations of the words were messed up. Like Makola.
What did they say?
Makola. Anansi became Anans.
Allah.
Yeah, I would disgrace you.
You're not assassin.
Oh, that one too, they use AI to say it.
I
can't they get somebody to say this for them? Why do you have to use AI?
Oh,
that's why people are upset.
Yeah, people are.
But there are AIs that can pronounce their names better.
Yes, definitely.
Oh,
but people are so upset that this was allowed to go out in the public.
So it's a promo video.
It's a promo video for the jerseys, but there was also a promo shoot for alternative wear for the Black Stars, the fan attire, and yes. So people are also upset with this one because Ghanaian models weren't used.
Who did they use?
They used some female models who appeared Caucasian or at least or mixed
to model our jerseys.
Yes.
Why?
They were, let's say, extremely light-skinned.
Light-skinned, to model our
they don't look
jerseys.
like us.
They don't look like us. So yeah, that stirred a massive controversy. People asking the Twitter account of X account of the Black Stars to pull it down. Get some Ghanaians to model the kits, because
if you want to bring back the love, you need to be mindful of these kind of things, you know. Anyway, I hope they listen.
Yeah, and the caption said Kente energy, but the jersey itself did not
didn't release any energy.
No, there was no Kente element in there, which is what people are also talking about. So it's a huge deal. Let's stay with the World Cup, because we are 23 days away from the World Cup, and visa issues have become a major talking point in recent times. And on the World Cup Central last week, we had officials from the US Embassy to come and talk to us about the visa process and how easy it is to get through and what the US Embassy requires from people who are applying for visas. So we had the Consul General at the US Embassy in Accra, the Elliot Fettick, and we also had the press attaché of the US Embassy, Matthew Asadat. So they responded to claims that Ghanaians are deliberately being rejected in the visa application process. They said no.
The bouncing is too much.
Yes, not everyone is going to be accepted because not everyone is going to meet the requirements.
Yep.
So if you meet the requirements and you go through the interview process, you will be taking.
Are the requirements clear though?
Yes,
if they are clear, then
yes.
so that it's objective. You know that this is the reason that you are being denied.
Well, they seem pretty clear from what we know. But even if they weren't before the show, we're giving a thorough explanation of what we need before we apply for the visa. So if you missed any part of that,
so that interview is online, right?
It's online. It's not a YouTube page, so you can find it there.
I need to find it and watch.
Yes, sir.
I enjoyed it, man.
He explained why they bounce people and why some people go through.
The concerns have emerged because of the supporter groups. Other than that, everybody's fine. People are. I know a lot of people.
Do they apply as a group?
I don't know how they are applying, but they are getting bounced by the hundreds. I am.
You mean they are just bouncing like tennis balls?
I'm completely excited that they are getting bounced. But I also know that people are getting visas.
That the supporter groups are not going.
It is I'm saying that the hoopla is because the supporter groups are not getting visas. The hoopla is not because people are not getting visas. I'm sure people are getting bounced too, generally.
Yeah.
But the hoopla has emerged because of that. And that's what that was.
And you are happy.
Young Konkwa.
As I said, a lot of World Cup news.
Accelerator.
A lot of World Cup news.
More bouncing.
Go, bounce it.
A lot of World Cup news this morning because we've just received Brazil's squad for the World Cup, and trending because of it. Neymar trending, João Pedro trending, and Dede are you trending?
So explain why is Neymar trending?
Neymar trending because he's been added to the squad for the World Cup, the 26-man squad for the World Cup.
And João Pedro has not been included?
João Pedro has not been included in the squad also.
This one means that Ancelotti fell to public pressure.
He didn't fall to any public pressure. João Pedro has played a lot a games for the Brazil national team and has looked lost in the national colors.
But he did well in Chelsea.
But that's the thing. What he does as Chelsea gets you to the national team. When you get there, show that you belong. But he has not shown in a single match for Brazil.
His Neymar fit.
He's been playing the league for 6 months now.
I thought maybe there was a lot of pressure on him to put Neymar in.
Yes, there was. That's what that one there was. That's what that one. Golden child of Brazilian football.
So why is the day are you trending?
It
is just
once Neymar has made it in somehow, there's hope for Dede Ayew also as well in the Ghana squad. That's what people are saying. And there are reports that he's been put into the 55-man professional squad anyway, so he stands a chance.
55-man squad.
Yes,
How many are going?
26.
Well, about half of them are staying.
So the squad will be announced next week.
Yeah, to be announced.
Will they announce it after the Mexico match?
Yes, it will be announced after the match.
But is the Mexico match a full friendly?
Yes.
It is a full friendly. It's FIFA recognized.
So you are taking all the proper players or some of them?
No.
It's like he's testing some players.
Both teams are.
So this is the first job of this coach. He's going to see his people. Okay.
Yeah, he's going to see
some people.
Okay. And you are playing it in Mexico?
Yes, who makes it like the French players who can make it into the squad.
Okay, so let's see how it goes.
All yes, so we are done with Brazil. We are done with our trending stories. Okay, actually, I wanted to bring you one more story of videos that have been trending. I probably should have brought it yesterday of people in Trotros as
when
it was raining holding stools, buckets over their head just to stop the water from falling on them. And obviously,
I think multidimensional poverty should also include how you commute.
Mode of transport, the quality of the
because the type, I've said this many times, the trotros we have, they are death traps, a lot of them. There's even an article 2 days ago in the newspaper, I think Graphic, about the evolution of the Voxy debate from Toyota Haze, Nissan Urban to Benz 207, and the guy identified the same trend. People go and pick vehicles that are not meant to carry human beings, and they find a way of retrofitting them, put human beings in those vehicles, and they inevitably lead to deaths. So it's
played out for humor on social media, but obviously it's a serious concern of customer service.
One dashboard, Charlie. How does the guy even manage to drive the car?
No, that one they connect cables to start.
So why won't your regular citizen be upset when he's driving and DVLA officials to stop his car and say, I want to check your car, when you can see this trotro that is leaking and has a roadworthy sticker.
But for me, the argument they make about people need livelihoods, but it must be safe. So it's in the interest of the state to say human beings should not be allowed to sit in this car.
We face these out.
If you want to be a trotro operator, upgrade. That's how every serious country does it. But here we allow everything. Because people must eat, as they will say, man moye. Anyway, what is the digital news?
So we go to tech news and we are going to X, and in a bid to combat spam content on their platform, X is now limiting the number of posts any unverified account can make. So you can only make 50 original posts or 200 replies or 500 DMs in a day.
But who have time to send? I can't even send 3. People get time like that. 500.
So it's not going to affect regular people like you and me. But if you are tweeting on a live breaking issue, you are going to tweet a lot.
500 is a lot too.
Or you are
500 is a whole lot.
Or if
it's only machines can tweet like that.
Yeah, well, it's actually 50 original posts, 500 DMs.
50 original posts.
So if you are tweeting a live event, if you are maybe a Stan account, you are a Michael Jackson support account or a Sarkodie support account, you tweet a lot during the day to push up the engagement. But it's going to affect those people. But X is just using it as a way to curb the spam accounts who just engage with
spamming unnecessarily.
But Twitter used to be a platform where you just say what you want at any point in time about whatever. That's how it became popular, which is why the complaints are coming from
life doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You can't say anything you want at any time. Everything you say, there's a consequence.
There's a consequence.
Yeah, it's a fantasy to think that you can exist in a world where you can say anything you want without any consequence. No, you can't do that. Thank you for that.
There are many reasons to connect, and it's all to put smiles on the faces of those you love.
Daddy, thanks for the tea cash, okay? I love you.
That's my daughter, Angela. Caring for my parents, that's my duty. I also get to pay my utility bills easily with Telecel Cash. And to the suppliers at my shop,
hello, sir. Telecel Cash payment received right on time. Thank you.
I get to make them smile because I can pay to my suppliers' merchant numbers, even on other networks directly. My dear ones, we keep the connection stronger when our family, friends, and business relations are happy. Live on cash, enjoy convenience, and make those who matter smile when you send them money with Telecel Cash.
Telecel, connecting energies.
With the recent increase in electricity tariffs and fuel prices, power, although unreliable, has become expensive, and owning a noisy generator becomes a headache rather than luxury. For an affordable and durable electricity solution, you need to go solar with Translight. Feel the independence, experience the comfort, and be productive. Translight Solar. Wherever there is sunlight, there is Translight. Think solar. Think Translight. Locate us at 98 Boundary Road, East Legon, in between ARS and the American House at the White House bus stop. Visit our website at translightsolar.com. Call us on 0504-249-229 or 0206-542-454 or reach us through email info@translightsolar.com.
The World Cup football fever is here, and Electroland Ghana Limited is bringing the excitement of the stadium right into your home with unbeatable soccer promotion. Experience every goal and celebration in clarity, just like you're live at the stadium with discounts on Samsung, TCL, and NASCO Smart TVs. Make every match day perfect for your football watch parties with powerful air conditioners and air coolers, top and bottom mount chest and display fridges, gas cooker, washing machines, microwaves, small kitchen appliances, and more. This is the biggest football promo of the year. Rush to our showrooms and authorized dealer shops or call 050-315-9739. Electroland, bringing the stadium home.
Sankofa. Pepper soup where you know what? Pepper Sankofa. Sankofa pepper powder. Eshe raw. Sankofa pepper powder. Mekwa ojawo. Eshe. Sankofa pepper powder. Mekwa ojawo. Eshe. Mekwa ojawo. Eshe. Mekwa ojawo. Eshe. Mekwa ojawo. Eshe. Mekwa ojawo. Sankofa pepper powder. Ojawo.
FDA aji ejade nkrato yatum.
Kweku, tell everyone dinner is ready.
Kids, let's go to the dining table.
Food is ready. Let's go.
Hi, are you fine?
No. Say, fine. No, my own is better. Fine.
But wait, we all know that mommy always does it best.
Fine.
Keep enjoying First Choice Premium Spaghetti. Delicious, non-sticky, contains vitamin A, zinc, iron, and always comes through. You're fine.
This advert is FDA approved.
Charlie, trim I'm nice. I get some serious meeting. Allah, motion. But Charlie, no credit today. Oh, but you relax. More day.
Hey, what funny.
Yes, so I borrow small, sort myself out, I pay back. We move. Spoil there. Ah, Charlie, you sure say you dey pay back? Yes, so that anytime somebody else they need them, more day. Be like I for can't borrow some more. Hey, you this boy. Don't go there and disgrace yourself. Allah, motion.
Responsible borrowing be the real flexo for today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. Borrow, sort them, pay back. Momo Day.
Electrical say you mean? Nanse no ma ye wo.
Every time man for so fake na begum.
It's time on motor cables ah. No ma scan. Check the cables no. Or your Nexans cable metal. One low smoke anti-counterfeit cables ni bia. So nye bia. Mun toda.
E dia na ma wo use sa cables na. E ma ni dem sronko.
Low smoke anti-counterfeit cables ah. You me che there. Certificate cables on your papa wire then say to ma. Open whistle p you toxic ah. No me jenu so huwa. No pompo table to make. Na say use low smoke anti-counterfeit cable ah. O meja ni nshiwo. Whistle ka kribi no ba. Atrianchen bitu na gyadan numa ehwanyim low smoke anti-counterfeit cables ya etwa ehwo na hwa ebotuma scan na check there so your original free Nexans cable metal low smoke anti-counterfeit cable ya sashe na ya ja to be there only Ghana cable okwa kwesi that
Nexans cable metal electricity no get leg the Nexans cable metal cable they carry ya.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Adia chebia aba ni pediamia penny koshe makola ni kejetia kiti ebito ne bibia abrantie ye jumadenje waketia sika ne je wabrekita ewum se ye brenya minti dai didida ebinimu si mwacha amenamenti wondruda ye nyina ye ozo ade na betwe mi moja mataiko dansoma me mamodemrifa obrane boyedin enso wose bomodin obi su aje obi su botom ye okay send ye tie bia broni say no pain no gain say one thing fifra untimi self contained
8:23 on the Citi Breakfast Show. A couple of quick announcements before we continue with this conversation on development. Killer, please.
Yes, please. The attention of the Bank of Ghana has been drawn to the growing and unfortunate trend of some members of the public, including traders, transport operators, and small business owners, refusing to accept 20, 10, and 5 peso coins in commercial transactions. The bank wishes to state emphatically that the above-mentioned coins remain valid legal tender and must be used and accepted for all financial transactions. It is an offense to refuse a valid currency issued by the bank. All citizens and businesses are legally obligated to accept these coins for the settlement of debts and payment for goods. Under sections 4-5 of the Currency Act, anyone who refuses to accept Ghanaian cedis, whether coins or notes, can face a fine or up to 3 years in prison. So the Bank of Ghana is encouraging the public to continue to use the 20, 10, and 5 peso coins. Let us protect and value our national currency. For more information or complaints, please WhatsApp 0593 974 486. Email complaints.office@bog.gov.gh. We have an offer office, that is the Financial Stability Department, 4th floor, Urban Block, the Bank Square, Bank of Ghana, Accra. You can visit for any search. And everyone is a winner in the Ungalicious Abingwaha promo. Over 4 million Ghana cedis worth of cash and prizes to be won. So just look out for the special Ungalicious promo packs. Submit 20 Onga powder promo sachets or 20 Onga shrimp tablet promo wrappers at any Onga redemption center near you. You will receive a scratch card. Scratch it. It will reveal a unique code. Send it to *713*27# and you will win instantly. Cash prizes up to 200,000 Ghana cedis, deep freezers, smart TVs, kitchen appliances, and more. This runs to the 15th of July. Hurry, don't miss it. This advert is FDA approved. So growth is not just about becoming bigger, it's about becoming better. First Atlantic Bank is growing. We're excited. We are now a PLC. First Atlantic Bank is now a PLC. We are listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange, and becoming a PLC strengthens our accountability. It deepens our credibility and position us to serve our families, businesses, and communities. You even better. First Atlantic Bank is now a PLC. It's more than a new status. It's a promise to lead with I care. First Atlantic Bank PLC, refreshingly different. And now life has a funny way of showing up uninvited. 1 minute everything is fine, no drama. Then 1 minute, the next minute reality hits differently. Hospital bills, emergencies, expenses all showing up, and that's why IO annual cover got you covered with just a yearly premium of 159 Ghana cedi 50 pesos or 264 Ghana cedis, and then 396 Ghana cedis for yourself and each family member. You get up to 16,125 Ghana cedis to support funeral expenses, and up to 322 Ghana cedis 50 pesos daily hospital cash benefit per night. And yes, you can add up to 6 family members from 1 to 69 years old to your policy. Signing up is quick. Log into your Momo app, go to financial services, select insure, tap on IO, then choose the package that suits you, or dial *928*101#, select annual cover and sign up. Call or WhatsApp for inquiries 0596918235. Follow us online, IO Ghana, on our socials. IO, because you care.
So what needs to change for Ghana to develop? There's so many things we could talk about. But I'm not even sure where to start from. But this report on multidimensional poverty, really, really troubling indeed. The idea that there are some places in the country where people don't have access to proper water, proper waste disposal, and even proper housing. It's a big one. So what's the most important thing to do to change this? Now, I've been thinking a lot about why things are the way they are in this country. And there are many schools of thought. Some people think it's the political system that does not prioritize the proper development of people.
Right.
So the political system seems to be built on patronage, and therefore people come into office, give you nice promises, but essentially it's about being close to the pot of soup. And a lot of the decisions made are not necessarily meant to change people's lives positively. It's the so-called procurement economy. That's true. And it may be the most important reason, but I also feel there are other reasons. So, for example, education. Okay. The way people are educated determines what they can become. So let me give you an example. We are sitting here discussing agric problems. People have rice and maize unsold. All right. Now, part of the reason why we've not been able to sell the rice is, yes, maybe government can't buy the rice. All right. So part of this is government challenge. But the other challenge is that you don't really have food processing large scale in a country.
Yeah.
All right. Now, if you want to do large scale food processing, you need certain things to be in place. You need to have the skills. You need to have the equipment.
Yeah.
You need to have the machinery. You need to have the power. So if somebody wants to set up a maize processing factory, so it's not like this behind the house corn mill that he's using to do flour and mixing millet with sorghum. We are talking about large scale industry of, so maybe you are producing breakfast cereals on a large scale. Many things go into such a thing.
True.
All right. Now, or you are manufacturing textiles, and you want to create a company that produces the kind of thing I'm wearing. The type of education you give your people determines whether, even if you set up that business, you have the right skills of people. So there are the macro issues of capital. Where is the money set up the factory to compete against the import from another country? Do you have enough power that is cheap so that you can produce this textile at a price that people can buy?
True.
All right. Then do you have the right business process, the attitude of workers? Because one of the reasons we are unable to create great companies is that people are not, how do I put it? Our productive capabilities are also low. So in addition to political patronizing prioritized development, there's the whole economic business side, there's the education side, where people still, majority of our people are poorly trained. So you have, for example, the type of education you have. Most people can read and write, yes, and they can add and subtract. But you need people who can do a whole lot more. All right, there are specific skills you need, for example, in sewing, using industrial sewing machine. We don't have those things. And the educational system just pays lip service to those things. But you can then say it goes back to political leadership. Because political leadership inevitably determines what is a priority.
True.
And somehow they only prioritize the easy things. We built one school here, we provided some desks here, so we can get more votes. So the political leadership does not prioritize long-term transformation. Also because the system doesn't reward it. Because as we are sitting here, one group is waiting to do 2028. Another group is doing everything to keep power in 2028. So if what you need to do is to change the structure of technical vocational education so that in 10 years' time you can see the benefit, a politician will not do it because it's like, well, let me just build some schools. Let me get the people to recruit them into the police so that they will vote for me. So you see, the system has sort of undermined long-term structural change by prioritizing short-term things. And then you add corruption. So then there's a moral, behavioral side where people make money anyhow. So there's a lot of undercutting. Projects take long to finish. We are not excellent. So we are doing everything to cut corners, to do chobo. You see. So when you put that whole thing together, I don't even know how. Everybody says, well, let's go back to leadership. Okay. And there's the whole is our leadership and the people. You know, I was asking somebody, if you appoint the kinds of things I say, if you make me MC of Medina,
you will not be able to do anything.
I'm not sure I can do it too. Maybe I feel like if I want to be effective as an MC of Medina,
would the center allow you?
Even if they did, I need a few things. I may need a group of people who think like me, who agree with what I want to do in Medina. Do you understand? The people of Medina generally may want development in what they say. But somebody wants to set up a shop. He went to primary school with me. He may want to break the rules. If I say, I won't let you break the rules, I'm a bad person. Now, if I'm not properly trained to say it doesn't matter, to prioritize the collective or the individual, I can't do anything in Medina.
Is that not the same with other people in your position around the world? How are they able to say no, you can't say no?
There are systems in the world that help them to say no. And then they are also trained in a way that lets them know that saying no is what leadership is about.
But hold on. If you've been trained the same way and the system allows you, so I asked you, if the center allows you the same leverage and you've been trained the same way, why can't you change Medina?
No, ask the question again.
I'm saying it's a hypothetical situation.
Yeah.
You've been given authority by the center.
Yeah.
That says, we will not get in your way. Do what you need to do to fix this problem for us.
Yeah.
You've also been trained in that mindset of wrong is wrong. This is what we need to do to get this right here. Whether you're my friend, my cousin, my brother, or whoever, I'll treat you the same. Where's the difficulty then?
So if those two conditions are not fully, I keep going back to UPSA. So the if I made MC of Medina, the center will not give me a chance to do anything. Because if
we're being hypothetical. If the center has given you,
if I start doing certain things, the center will fight me. People will choke me, and the center will say, "This guy is causing problems for us in Medina," even though what he's doing is long-term good. That's number one. So let's assume the center allows me to do it. I have also not been trained in a way that allows me to say, "I will let justice be done, though the heavens fall." Which is why I give you the UPSA example. UPSA had a certain quasi autonomy from the center. The center did have some control, but the man had at least 8 years of unfettered leadership.
Yes.
He so happened
to do what he needed to do.
He also happened to have people around him who wanted the best for UPSA at the time he was there. So there was a lot of people who worked with him who believed in that vision. Okay. So even though the students at the time initially were not happy, they eventually began to see that if we follow this man, this is what will happen. Do you understand me? So the condition of leadership is critical. As in the top, political leadership must align.
Yeah.
Then the human being himself must be a person who has a vision, who has character, who has training and experience.
Yeah.
So there's a place for leadership training. And then there must also be the collective, because there's between headship and leadership. So for example, Samens is the head, but there are other leaders. So in the same way, Alabi is the head, but there were other professors, there were other lecturers. You don't mention their names. So my point is that if a society has to change, it's not just having one great man like Lee Kuan Yew. He needs a generation of leaders who also believe in the vision, because he must execute the leadership through people.
Okay.
So Ghana's failure is not a failure of one man.
Yes.
It's a failure of a generation of leaders who, because that good behavior reinforces itself. All right. So most people who want to do good, they find themselves isolated. Okay. Then there's also the disconnect between political leaders and civil service, where there's a certain culture of civil service. So let's assume I make you head of Free Zones Authority.
Yes, I like it.
Good. So you've come, maybe I trained you at Harvard and I made you local government rep. So you have come to the job. Now, after 6 months, you realize that if you don't come with a new team, you can't get anywhere. Because the mindset of the people who were there for 15 years before you got there is not the same as your mindset. They think you are an imposter because you just came because the president likes you. And you think they are up to no good because they are not in a hurry to do what the president wants. So there's always suspicion. So the guys who are there for 15 years, when you want to do a new program, they'll say, this thing we tried before, it doesn't work. They'll slow you down. Now you will say, okay, let me bring my own people. Then they'll start. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's that political leadership, mistrust, and civil service. So where there are even political leaders who want to do the right thing, sometimes the civil servants, and some civil servants also say, we've been here for 15 years. We've done a great job. You just came because you were speaking on air and you want to change everything. You don't know how this system works. So it's not always that the politician also means well. Sometimes the civil servant means well, the politician doesn't mean well. So for me, I'm saying that at the root of all of that is education. The kind of education you give a society determines the kind of leaders who emerge. So I think our priority as a society must be a certain kind of education, which is ethical, but also quality and competitive and modern. So for a lot of our school products don't understand conceptually what they are taught, because the way education is being delivered and the environment in which it's being delivered does not develop the total human being. So I'll give you a typical example. So you are born in Kiseman. You go to Anumle 1 or 2 as a public school. He did a report from there some time back. The school doesn't have proper toilets. So you're a girl, you are 12 years old. Even the way the type of environment you are being trained in affects what you become eventually. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So the quality you need and the peace of mind you need and the training you need to become a citizen that can really know enough and be ethical enough to do, you won't do it. Right now, people are buying Apple for their kids to ride WASI. Invigilators are colluding with students to cheat. So I may get 10 once in BEC, go to Presec, but I cannot develop society because even the system I came through is not that meritocratic.
Yeah.
Do you understand? If I can get Apple to write an exam, I'm basically going to be a useless citizen to the country. So I am saying that if you want to change the society, prioritize education. And it's not just pushing as many people as possible to school. That is true. But make sure that they are getting the right type of education. Right? An education that makes them confident, that unleashes their creativity and makes them ethical. Okay, so that when you say to a company, come and set up a factory in Kumasi, you can say that our people are better because they work harder, they are honest, they won't steal, and you can be your company will make profit because we have the best human beings. That's my pitch. So if a company has $1 billion to invest in an IT something, let's come to Ghana because Ghanaians are honest and hardworking. That's what it will mean. But if the guys are lazy, they are dishonest, and they don't have any competencies or skills, then the companies cannot create enough jobs. So we'll keep importing.
Bernard, yesterday I spoke to professors who lead technical university education in Ghana on the show, right? And it had been 10 years since we converted from polytechnic to technical university education. And they are holding a conference to discuss applied research and some of the innovations their students had come up with, and they are going to look at some of the issues and concerns that they have. I'm just picking on a part of all that you have said. We are thinking about building the nation. We are looking for quality human capital that will build the nation in terms of technical, in terms of their soft skill, everything put together, right? And if we are deciding to look back on what we've been able to achieve over the last 10 years since we converted our polytechnics into technical universities, are we able to say that we have enhanced the quality of the graduates we churn out to the job market by this percentage, so that X amount of them are able to create their own jobs, Y a number of them are performing on the jobs? So have we done a tracer study to show the quality of graduates we've churned out? That's number one. And then when you look at the investments we've made into the technical education over the time, look, when you compare the percentage of our GDP that we push into TVET training, it's really poor. And when I asked the professors whether or not we've been able to achieve the aims we had for transforming polytechnics into technical university, they said yes.
Oh, they said
of course,
yes.
they will say yes.
I don't believe so.
But Bernard, you and I interact with the auto mechanics that come out from these places. We interact with those who repair washing machines, who fix ACs, who do all the technical things, build urban spaces and whatever it is. And you can tell that the quality of the human capital in terms of ethics, there's a lot lacking. Yesterday, I read a very devastating story of a small, thriving startup.
What happened to them?
It's at Spentex. After 5 years of being in business, they said they have shut down.
Why?
Yes, they gave a number of reasons. Each had a slide. So, for example, it has increase in taxes. Then it goes on to say rising cost of goods. But when it came to issue number 3, which is staffing issues, they had 3 slides.
What was the issue with
and
staffing?
Let me just give you an idea. It's high time we discuss the elephants in Ghana's room. And this is Jam Juice. They at Spintex. I'm referring to them. Came across this post of theirs. We have to collectively come to terms with the undeniable fact that there exists a broken system with regard to employee attitude and behaviors. Despite our continual effort in trying to tackle this issue over the past 5 years, we experience a never-ending revolving door of dishonesty, lack of attention to detail, equipment breakages, and theft.
Go through the 4 again.
Okay. So
dishonesty.
1. Lack of attention to detail.
2.
Equipment breakages.
3.
And the ultimate, theft.
All these are the product of your educational system.
Exactly. Now, before an argument ensues in the comment section about unpaid and overworked staff, we explain Jam Juice's employment strategy.
Go ahead.
So that what they've done to try to retain them. Number 1, we deliberately hired individuals who lived a few miles from the shop. This will provide employees easy and safe transport to and from work. We paid employees 50 to 100% higher than the national wage for restaurants.
Correct.
Right? We provided staff with a 5-day working week and the lowest hours of any establishment with 8 hours a day of work.
Really?
This is inclusive of lunch breaks. We offered help, both financial and emotional, when staff experienced personal issues. We had incentivized schemes for hitting target with employees having experienced trips to Kokrobite, Silver Bell Cinema.
Basically trying to create a conducive environment.
Exactly. And then number 5, it's important, the final point, it's important to note that One of our core aims as a business was to inspire young Ghanaian employees. Jams Juice had a defined path of career growth, allowing many to take on supervisory and leadership roles. We felt that by seeing a Ghanaian-owned business catered to Ghanaian consumers in an area with predominantly foreign businesses, staff would feel motivated to work well.
So what happened?
But unfortunately, our multiple strategies proved unsuccessful, and theft continued to be an incessant problem.
So he mentioned 4 things which I wanted to come back on. The first one he said was dishonesty, lack of attention to detail, distraction of company equipment, and theft.
Yeah.
So dishonesty is both moral and also education.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because a proper educational system doesn't just train your skills, it also trains your heart. Okay, so whether it's Presby schools, head, heart, and hand. That's the Mauli school, that's the same thing. That's basically the ethos for setting up the mission schools. All right. Attention to detail is a product of education. The reason why you do mathematics and calculations and science experiments and go through methods is attention to detail. It's not the content that you must remember. So usually people feel like when you go and learn something, it's about remembering the formula. No, it's about the attention to detail to solve the problem. So they can give you a solution, a question, and change one small issue. So a good educational system trains you for that. So the reason I'm saying that these 4 problems this company describes are educational problems or upbringing problems. So dishonesty is educational.
Yeah.
All right? Because you are writing an exam, you're not supposed to cheat. If you are there's certain behavior you have to put up. If you are dishonest, you cannot be successful in school. If the purpose of schooling is to be achieved. When they give you homework, you have to do it yourself. When they give you a certain assignment within a specific time, you must present it. Do you understand? You must not copy during exam. That's honesty. Then attention to detail is very critical in every educational system. Okay. Then distraction of property, obviously, responsibility, and then stealing. Okay. So I am saying that the failure of Ghana can be traced to the moral fabric and the educational system. So I'm not discounting macroeconomic issues. I'm not discounting some of those external issues, colonization and everything else. But Caleb, this person whose employees took advantage of his generosity to steal, there are many, many examples of this. And I'm saying that a country is only as competitive as the quality of its citizens. All right? Not the abundance of its natural resources.
True.
What is a citizen of that country capable of doing? So if you take an average citizen of Ghana trained in our SS university system, what are they capable of doing? What can they do? Okay? And when you ask people who set up businesses, large scale companies or even businesses, one of the most important things they look out for is human resource. Nobody wants to bring all their talented staff from abroad and pay them expert fees. So whether I'm a Nestle, I'm a Cadbury, or I am a Guinness, or I am an MTN, I need quality people in Ghana who are honest, who are hardworking, who can drive my agenda, who are innovative and creative. Do you understand me? So if Ghana focused on education and said, we will make sure that our average graduate is better than the Senegalese, the Nigerian, the Gambian, or the Kenyan, and we develop that for 10 years, most large companies will say, why can't we come and set up in Ghana? The Ghanaian workers are solid. They are not as high maintenance as their colleagues from Nigeria. They won't steal. Do you get it? So I feel that that's a missing link for us. And it's not all of them who will be employed. Some will also create their own jobs. And if people are hardworking, we can be more productive. Because in certain countries, they institutionalize productivity. So China, they force you to be productive. So the reason why a Chinese-made textile can be cheaper than a Ghanaian-made textile is that, of course, they have a larger scale to produce. But then they extract more from the average Chinese worker than they can extract from a Ghanaian worker. So it's called labor factor productivity. What can an average Chinese laborer create in an hour? Compare that to what a Ghanaian can create in an hour. Number two, what do you pay? So maybe the American can produce the same thing, but you pay the American more. So if I am Apple, I will go to China because whilst I pay the Chinese $8 an hour, the American is taking $30. The Chinese in that $8 an hour can produce 2 shoes. So the question is, when you put the Ghanaian in that matrix, and then you add electricity cost, you add transportation, infrastructure, taxes, why would I come and locate my factory in Ghana and not China?
So Bernard, how does the Ghanaian then become also or be more productive when they are in different systems compared to when they are in this environment? Remember,
it's the exceptional ones who go out. So 2 things here.
Okay.
Productivity is both the person and the system.
Right.
The Ghanaians who manage to go out. So I'm not saying Ghanaians are bad. There are some Ghanaians who are very good. I'm talking about the average Ghanaian.
True.
Ghanaians are very good at conforming to systems. So when you put a Ghanaian in a foreign place to make him a cleaner or to make him work in a laundry,
12 hours, she was on her feet.
He has an agenda. Yeah. And the system has been calibrated to extract the maximum out of him. Do you understand what I'm saying?
What is the agenda?
The person working,
yes,
he wants to make enough money so he can come to Ghana and build a house.
Okay.
Or he will get his stay and get his papers. So he has an agenda that, Charlie, in 3 years, I must get my red book.
But why can't that agenda be fulfilled when he's home?
Because incomes are also low. Okay. So the low income here is part of the multidimensional problem. Because in the US system, there are certain things that are catered for. He's working for a company, health insurance is catered for. Food is not as expensive. So even though housing is expensive, he can target and say, if I do 3 jobs, $8 an hour in 3 shifts, I can calculate this. In Ghana, he can't get that.
Yeah. No matter how
because
hard or long
there's a
you
certain
work, the
uncertainty with working in our informal sector. And by the way, the person who I am criticizing as a Ghanaian is not just the worker. The employer too has a problem.
Yes.
So it's not just the worker. The employer too hasn't created a system that gives the worker the best for his efforts and that maximizes the worker's productivity. So whilst you are reading from this Ghanaian Jewish person, his counterpart in another country has better systems too. But it all goes back to education. Do you hear my point? It's the educational system that produces a weak employer and a lazy employee.
Let me ask you, do we like working or we pretend to work on the average? Here.
I think it's a difficult question. In certain instances, when you have the right employment environment, people actually work well.
For a while.
So there are some companies, all right. So let me take MTN. I look at MTN staff at various levels.
They seem to do well.
They seem to do. Even the Momo vendors, even though they are not employees of the company, there's a certain system in place that they know that if I open my shop early and I manage my customers well, I will make some money. But you can still compare a Ghanaian Momo vendor to a Nigerian Momo vendor. The Ghanaian Momo vendor will open at 8:30. The Nigerian will open at 7. The Ghanaian Momo vendor will be rude to you. The average Nigerian Momo vendor will not be rude to you. So, whilst generally some companies create a good working environment, there's a certain Ghanaian attitude that doesn't support good customer service and productivity. He opens the shop at any time he wants. When you sell something when you gives you something and the thing is bad and you ask him to replace it, he's angry with you. He thinks he's doing a favor by selling you the food. It's part of our education. The training doesn't make us. We don't emphasize quality or excellence.
Is it? Sorry, I'm asking you a question.
I'll answer.
Drink some tea for me. Is there an overarching ethos that we exist under as Ghanaians when it comes to work and how we operate? So you mentioned the Chinese, for instance, or generally Asians, because that's this.
Yeah.
The Americans have this. If you go to Germany, they have this. You mentioned that. If you go to Switzerland, they have this.
Yeah.
If you go to Nigeria, why is it that? Well, let's start from there. Is there a difference? Do we have one?
So let me qualify the Nigeria point.
No. Just
so whilst Nigeria, on an individual level, a Nigerian may be more forceful than a Ghanaian. If you look at the state of Nigeria and state of Ghana today, I can argue that Ghana is better than Nigeria.
Yes.
There are more poor people in Nigeria. The average incomes in Ghana are possibly higher than the average income in Nigeria because their population is much larger and the gap between the rich and the poor is very wide. So I'm not even sure. I use a Nigeria example only in the context of worker.
You can ignore that, yes, but that's what I'm speaking about.
But your substantive point is about a national ethos.
Yes.
For work.
Yes.
I feel like we have not. So I think our leadership failure as a society has been in identifying and harnessing the right national values. All right. So the Chinese, the Asians have created a certain society based on, I call it the rice paddy mentality. They have ingrained hard work into life. So they said if a man wakes up at 4 a.m. every day to farm rice, there's no way his family will be poor.
Yeah, but
so it drives people to push.
Yes, the point I'm trying to get to, when, if you answer my question, would be for them, they are heavily reliant on Confucian philosophy.
Yeah.
That's 5,000 years old.
Yes.
They've had 5,000 years to beat it down into themselves. That this is who we are. And there's a clear understanding that we live by this. So there's a general acceptance in China, in Vietnam, or in Japan. So that's the overarching ethos that exists there. Who would we be following in that regard?
In our context.
In our context, in trying to harness such a philosophy. Two, I talk about age. We are pretty young.
As a country or as individuals?
As a unified entity.
As a nation state?
Yes, we are pretty young. We've existed for thousands,
but
thousands of years.
In this organization,
but in this current structure, we are very young. Have we had enough time to sit down and say, and the factors that enabled us to be put together perhaps did not allow us to have, and has never allowed us to sit down and say, this is the kind of philosophy that we follow as a country. And you'll see that it is pretty common with the heavily colonized countries. So, which is why I was asking about those, because if you look at overall, your Ghanaian, Malian, Senegalese, Gambian, Togolese,
Sierra Leone.
When it comes to that, there will be a certain similarity, although some of them are better than us. We even say Togolese artisans are better than ours.
But there's a general
but if you look at the Togolese system, that's also because of the German influence.
Yeah.
True. And it was very heavy.
Yeah.
In that regard.
Tibet and that kind of thing.
So in the end you ask yourself, who do we follow, and perhaps are we not being too hard on ourselves? Also because we are pretty young. I'm just trying to
let me try and address what you're saying. So even with the Chinese example you give, 5,000 years of civilization, Persian, whatever, there were still political leaders who harnessed the ideas of those philosophies and practicalized them. You remember you said the tiger. They said the tiger has no time to brush his teeth. Chairman Mao. Right? The point I'm making is that a leader's job is not just building roads and schools. It's building culture. Right? So Nkrumah tried to do that in his writings, because when you start a nation, it must be built on something.
But it got broken.
Good. I am saying that, I argue that a lot of our leaders after Nkrumah have not understood the cultural dimension of their leadership role.
Hold on for me. I'm not cutting you, just hold on for me. So the point that you've just made, let's look at the independence leaders. All of them. So you had Senghor, Negritude. It was a concept he had. You had Hastings Kamuzu Banda.
Malawi.
Quite similar to Nkrumah in his approach. You had Kwame Nkrumah. You had
Mwalimu. Tanzania.
You had Nigeria next door.
There were three. Nnamdi Azikiwe, and of Zik, of course. Then there was also Obafemi, and then Amadou Bello.
You go to up north and the Francophone sides and the Frantz Fanon mentalities of what they try to approach their lives with. But these philosophies were never really allowed to mature, for them to become a core part of the people over years, because unfortunately during that period those kind of thought processes were also considered pretty dangerous by the West as it was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so whatever needed to be done to cut it was done to cut it. And so we've basically been winging it as people for the past 50, 40 years and trying to figure out, and that's across the board.
Do you think we recognize that? You see, your point is true that the difference, the African mind, in my view,
has never been allowed to focus on one philosophical notion, because more powerful factors always seem to think that this is too dangerous for these people to think this way.
Yeah, but you see, I agree that only 50%. So has never been allowed. That takes away agency. Has the African allowed himself to reflect on his state and to think deeply about where he is, and to, because you see, you have to evolve your own philosophy. All right. So you are an Akan, you are Christian, Presbyterian. Now you need people in your society who can harvest the ideas from all three angles to determine a certain ethos for your life. All right. So there's certain things in Akan culture that makes you Akan, that nobody can take away from you. Then you say you are a Christian. Again, you must understand Christianity to a point where it influences the way you think positively.
Yeah.
And even of the Christian strand, you say you are Presbyterian. I think we are lazy. So we don't think deeply enough about our state to reconcile contradictions. All right. And which is why collectively we like shouting following the latest slogan. We don't think, look, which is why even the quality of people leading our political party is going to deteriorate. Because there's even, in fact, there's even now a reduction in collective thought, where you say, can't they just see that where they are going is distracting? No. Hey, we all want to. Hey. It's like the yeah mentality. You see, so I am saying that it's not just the Europeans and colonization. I think we've been lazy, because even sitting here looking at NDC and MPP and the way they've deteriorated in terms of quality of leadership, I would say that it's part of the societal deterioration.
Hold on for me there. The deterioration you speak about is generational, isn't it? So again, I lean into the philosophy. Those that we call strong leaders are persons who were born in that period that I am talking about. So would have studied in Nkrumah extensively, were born during that period, lived during that time, or would have been Thomas Sankara people, or would have been Leonard Sedasengo people.
Pan-Africanists.
Not necessarily, but they were pretty clear as to what the political ideology of their party was, what it stood for. Which is why I'm saying that if today we called an MPP and NDC person and sat down and said, let's discuss the political ideology of your party, 60-70% of them will fail that conversation. They don't understand it.
They have an ideology.
They don't know it.
They don't. Now they say they're forming a school or something.
And they say they form a school. We know that. But the point I'm making is, once that changed and we started winging it, we've also developed the political leadership of winging.
But Godfred, it goes back to leadership, because for me, let's go back to Alexander the Great. How did he become great? Don't forget there was a philosopher behind his education.
Yeah.
So he conquered the world, but there was a brain and an ideology behind his conquest.
What he was doing, yes.
So it wasn't just military might.
Yes.
So it teaches us that if you want to develop a society that will be powerful, you need to prioritize the role of thinkers. All right.
But
I'm coming. I'm coming. It's not. I'm not saying that the leader alone. See, the leader must have the knowledge enough to know that we must promote these ideas. So he may not be a philosopher himself, right?
Yeah.
But he has people who promulgate that philosophy that shapes the minds of the people. So the so-called African personality. Now, if I ask you, any Ghanaian intellectual, what is the African personality? What does it mean? Do we even understand it? Have we thought through it and distilled its core values? So for example, I've read about Marcus Garvey's personality. If somebody says a Garveyist, there are some things written, right? But if you take Africa as a collective, what is the African personality based on which philosophy. So I'm saying it's a product of. So what it is that people have chosen the path of least resistance. Okay, so let's just do regime preservation. Selfishness is also part, right? So even though maybe a leader may have the right idea, because I don't like him, I'm not from the same part of the world that he's from, I will collaborate with people to overthrow him, and then I'll entrench myself and only make my people from. So it becomes like a rat race. Okay, so for me, our problem is it's still back to education, because see, the way you process experiences and reality is a product of your education. So if you don't have a mind that can question your reality, and then beyond questioning it, apply the tools of your mind to change that reality, you are not properly educated.
I hold on for me. I take your point on thinkers and ask myself, so why isn't somebody like Kwesi Redu, the late Kwesi Redu, a lot more prominent in our general educational setup of thinkers? If I asked you a basic Ghanaian, do you know Kwesi Redu? You tell you no.
No, most people don't.
But don't you find it strange?
But
that, hold on, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that. Don't you find it strange that in the conversation of what shapes a mind and moves a nation, a country like Ghana will have people who are educated to a certain point, who would not know perhaps his greatest thinker.
So they are even lower hanging fruits. They are even lower hanging fruits. Work with me.
Don't you find it strange? So if we at our level struggle to wrap our head around that notion of saying that, okay, this is the kind of mindset that can move a country, or this is the mindset that establishes who we are. It doesn't matter where it comes from, so far as you're able to identify it. I buy your point on teaching, because that is where it is formed. I have seen places where it's not necessarily being beaten into you, but you have a clear understanding of where you are and who you are and what the country stands for. You understand? You are in competition. You must be excellent to stand out. So from a very young age, you are consistently chasing excellence. There are disadvantages to that. The West will tell you that you must have work-life balance. And so the notion of just work doesn't necessarily wash.
Okay.
In that regard. You come to us. We, again, just like our democracy, which is hybrid, have hybridized the notion of who we are and what we want to do. So we are yet to really perfect a system, which is why I say we are winging it. Yes, we are yet to perfect anything that allows us to say, look, this is the point that we are. Can we move it to B?
Okay.
If you take our democracy from where it was, we moved from the steel ballot box to the what? Transparent one. We consider it our single most important achievement in democracy.
Lack of trust.
It is unless you are mad.
Yeah.
It is considered our single most important democratic achievement.
Voter ID with a thumbprint and then picture and non-biometric.
You see, so we are always trying to improve on the things, but have we tried to improve? Look at the difficulty we've had in trying to accept even what our education should be like. So and what goes into it.
So now that you've raised this question, I want to do something. Because we don't also just want to be philosophers.
Oh, of course.
I've gone to a website that you contribute to the conversation.
What have we done there now?
6 African thinkers who help us understand the world.
Yes.
It's a new book.
It's a book.
So what I want to do is I want to mention these 6 philosophers and give it as homework to our listeners.
Go and read.
The famous one is Valentin Yves Mudimbe, born 1941, died 2025. Mudimbe is one of the most influential African philosophers of the late 20th century. His seminal work, The Invention of Africa, dismantles what he calls the colonial library, the body of Western knowledge that has historically defined Africa from the outside. Rather than simply rejecting Western thought, Mudimbe proposes a critical archaeology of knowledge. His work invites us to rethink how Africa can be known and, crucially, how it can speak for itself. He shifts the question from what Africa is to who has the power to define it. His contribution goes further by drawing on thinkers like Michel, is a French word, help me. Is it Foucault? Foucault from France. He shows that knowledge is never neutral. This is a very important point. Knowledge is never neutral. So let me digress here. So, for example, economic knowledge, neoliberal versus heterodox economics. You can be taught a certain economics to enslave you forever. If you don't discover other types of economics to manage your economy, you'll forever be a slave to the IMF.
Yeah.
So let me go on. Knowledge is never neutral. It's embedded in structures of power. This allows Mudimbe to expose how academic disciplines, from anthropology to history, have participated in constructing a distorted image of Africa. His work opened the way for a generation of scholars who now seek to produce knowledge from within African perspectives rather than about Africa as an external object. Very, very important. So now there's a more information on it. So go look for Valentin Yves Mudimbe. Second one, Achille Mbembe, born 1957, still alive. A major voice in contemporary global theory, Cameroonian historian Mbembe explores how power operates in post-colonial societies. So you see power again. In works such as On the Post-Colony and Critique of Black Reason, he analyzes the afterlives of colonial violence and their impacts on subjectivity. Mbembe also emphasizes the need for Africa to produce its own narratives. For him, intellectual work is inseparable from historical trauma, but also from the possibility of reinvention. One of his key contributions is the concept of necropolitics, which examines how modern forms of power determine who may live and who must die. This framework has been widely used to analyze conflicts, borders, and inequalities for far beyond the continent. So look at Ebola, look at DRC. We are in Geneva discussing health, beating our chest. 150 people have died in
DRC.
It's not led to an emergency conference on 150 people. You do understand? This is what he's saying. So we are behaving in particular because we have not thought deeply enough about what influences the way we behave. So when we do a conference and people come and tell us we are doing well, we are happy. At the same time, Mbembe insists on moving beyond victimhood, which is why I was saying that if you say the African has not been allowed to,
you agree.
I agree with 50%. His work points towards what he sees as an emerging African future shaped by mobility, creativity, and new forms of belonging in a globalized world. And so Mbembe and Yves are described as the famous. Then there's a fascinating. Now, I'm blessed. In the year 2002, I applied for a leadership course at the IEA. And I was selected among 15 students.
Wow.
I was the only person in level 200 at the time. Robert Niade Clegg was there. Philip Atukufio was there. Richard Nyama was on.
Philip Atukufio, my lecturer?
Yes, Richard Nyama was on. There's a guy called, there's a Sierra Leonean guy on the program. I'm remembering the rest of them. Akafia. Michael Akafia was on. Eline or Essine Okujato was on. I just remember those names. We were given, I think, 2 weeks training in leadership and liberty. And the facilitator was called Professor George Ayittey. Ayitttey. Now, I bring Ayittey because he's number 3 on your list.
Yes.
Born 1945, died 2022. So we read his book and he explained to us how politics works. So a lot of my education in politics came from. So I always thank Dr. Charles Mensah because we did it at Coconut Grove at Elmina. It was a very intense program. And I applied for the thing. I was interviewed by 2 people and then they said we qualify. Okay. They wanted to understand my understanding of leadership, why I want to do media, and how I can use media to shape the world. So a lot of what I do came from that. Now, Ghanaian economist and thinker George Ayittey, a lot of Ghanaians don't even know him.
That's the point I keep making to you.
Stands out for his uncompromising critique of post-colonial African elites. While acknowledging the impact of colonialism, he argues that many of Africa's problems today stem from internal governance failure such as corruption, authoritarianism, and institutional decay. One of his most influential ideas is the distinction between cheaters and hippos. Cheaters are a new generation of reform-minded Africans. Hippos are entrenched elites resistant to change. This captures a broader critique of political stagnation and elite capture. Aite also insists on the importance of indigenous African institutions as resources for political renewal. His work is therefore not only critical, it is also programmatic, calling for reconstruction of governance. Now, why is Aite not famous in Ghana? I have a number of theories. Why? Don't forget, his sister is Sherry Aite.
Sherry, yeah.
Obviously, Rawlings will fall into the category of those he criticized.
Yes.
So, in a way,
they would not have allowed him
his
to
work
stand out.
But trust me, if you Google George Aite, let me get a spelling for you. Ayttey. I was blessed because he brought some other African leaders.
Yes.
Just 2 weeks or 1.5 weeks. Brilliant. Kwesi Redu, number 4. Born 1931, died 2022. And it's interesting, a lot of these guys died in 2022.
Yes. In 2022, we lost a lot. We just didn't recognize it.
Yes. Ghanaian philosopher Redu is one of the most important figures in African philosophy. His central project, Conceptual Decolonization, aims to free African thought from uncritically adopting Western philosophical categories. For Redu, language,
which you've mentioned several times,
plays a crucial role. Philosophical problems are often shaped by the language they are formulated in. By returning to African languages, he shows that debates about truth, personhood, or political organization can be reframed in very different ways. His work on consensus-based political systems, inspired by Akan traditions, is particularly influential. Rather than relying on majoritarian democracy, Redu explores forms of deliberation that include agreement and social cohesion. In the process, he does not reject universality. He redefines it from within African intellectual traditions. Yeah. I met an economist from New York University, from Akumadan.
Yeah.
He's a great economic thinker. He applies Akan traditional values to his economics. Brilliant guy. I forget his name. I'll get his name for you. He's the kind of person we should be listening to.
You know, in the week Professor Redu died, you know, because of where I work, the raft of activity in the academic community around this person, and I sat down and asked myself,
my own countryman,
what is happening here? Is like, because in that community it was like a demigod had died.
Yeah, a prophet is without honor.
It was like a demigod had died. But I looked at Ghana, I was like, it was a regular day at work for everybody here, you know.
Let me give you 2 more.
Finish off.
And by the way, those who are listening, please Google these names and read a lot about them. Oyeronke Oyewumi. So 2 of them were born in 57.
Oyeronke Oyewumi.
Nigerian sociologist and gender scholar Oyewumi's work offers a powerful critique of Western ideas being applied to the rest of the world. In The Invention of Women, she argues that gender as understood in Western societies was imposed on Yoruba social structures through colonialism. Her research demonstrates that social organization in Yoruba society was not originally structured around gender in the same way. Rather than gender serving as the main axis of social difference, other markers such as age and status played a more central role. This challenges the assumption that categories such as man and woman are universally foundational. More broadly, her work invites us to question how knowledge travels and how it can distort the realities it claims to describe.
6 is someone I find very fascinating. Go on.
Now this is a new one, born in 1967. Gasheni. Sabelo Ndlovu Gasheni. Zimbabwean historian Ndlovu Gasheni is a leading voice in decolonial theory. His work focuses on coloniality, understood as the persistence of colonial patterns of power long after formal independence. He criticizes the global division of intellectual labor, where African scholars are often confined to producing data, while the theory is developed elsewhere. For him, the issue is about who has the authority to produce knowledge. His work calls for African perspectives to be put in the center of global debates and for a transformation of the structures that continue to marginalize them. Now, why am I saying this? Culture is destiny. And there are other people I can add. Ngugi, Wathiongo, there are many, many of them. All right, Kobina Sichi and Co. Even Professor, this philosopher from Legon,
Canton.
No.
William Canton.
The main philosophy guy at Legon. I'll remember the name. What I'm trying to say is that if we don't begin to harness these ideas and train the next generation about what it means to be an African, and why we have agency, and why we must develop, and why we must be proud. I remember a president in an Asian country was telling his minister, he says, I'm sending you to the West for a conference. Never look on the floor.
Is Kwame Gyekye the name?
Kwame Gyekye. Look everybody straight in the eye. You are not inferior to them. Don't let anyone talk you down, or don't let anyone I want the word. I'm not getting the word. Don't let anyone intimidate you, or don't let anyone look down on you. So I come to Africa and I go to Kenya and I see a conference that France is hosting for African countries.
And Macron is shouting.
And Macron is talking down to African university students where other leaders are there.
Yeah.
And I'm asking myself, how does one country in the Western Hemisphere command such influence that over 30 African leaders have trooped there, including our president, to go and discuss so-called our and he calls himself a Pan-Africanist. And society doesn't question it. There's no outrage. There's nothing. We just like, oh yeah, it's normal. I think that generation of leaders have failed us. A new generation must arise who say we want a better deal. And we are not going to beg for it. We have to create it ourselves. A lot of these countries, all they have on us is our taste for the things they produce.
Yeah.
And the way they've shaped our mind to see them as being superior to us. So the new African leader must not just be educated at Harvard. He must question the education he had and prioritize the development of his people. Do you see where I'm coming from? There should be no reason why we should be lining up in Nairobi. Why? The Francophones have chucked him out. So now he's gone to Nairobi and we've moved there to go and support him. You see, it's the mindset of the African leader, and it's a product of education.
And in this regard, it is Ruto's mindset, because Ruto sees a lot of himself in Macron. They have a bit of a shared agenda.
And he's supposed to be a younger leader.
You know, also for Ruto.
So we have to conclude. We have to. So okay. So let me bring it home. So you will not find us do the regular media because of some of these understandings. Do you understand? Because people have not been enlightened about who they are, and we've used education, religion, media to enslave people. We will use the media to open people's minds, to change the narrative. That's why we do the kind of things we do. So if you leave it to just the politicians, they're not going to change it. So my pitch is, whether you are a lecturer in a university, you are a teacher in a school, or a journalist on a radio program, educate yourself enough to be proud of who you are, be excellent at what you do, and interpret your mandate differently than another opportunity to make money. Your mandate is a different mandate. Do you get it? Yeah. Because the new African leader must have a certain mindset that I'm not inferior to somebody else, and we will build a society based on meritocracy and hard work. Because as long as we are divided and we use our petty differences but the politicians will have a field day every week. Oh, we always vote for this party. I can't vote for that party. So every time we march to the Jubilee House, make our son this thing. All that must stop. Oh, why is a son of our soil not being made a minister? A small country of 30 million. You see? Yeah. So that division, every kingdom divided against itself will not stand. So this idea of pushing our small parochial interest empowers politicians to divide us and harvest the benefit. 8 years in power, get as much as you can, and then chop the money. And we are not able to say no to that because they play to our basest demands, ethnicity, tribalism.
Yeah.
We have to do better. So please, we have agency by who you even allow to occupy the airspace. Right?
Yeah.
It's not that there are not people enough to put on air. We can find some, but sometimes we have to speak ourselves. We didn't get this platform to give to people to come and just repeat arguments. They'll shout on air when they finish. They sit in the same car and go and eat omutu. We can't do that. So please, interpret your mandate, whether as a teacher, a journalist, or whatever, in a sense that you are putting your nation first and that you are a proud African. That's the way to change our reality. Politics alone cannot change it if there's no philosophy behind it. There must be a philosophical underpinning for our political freedom. I end my case.
So, Bernard, I think there are some messages coming in. Kwesi Aqua from Sakumono, he says, we are thinking too hard about the solutions to our problems. Take China and Singapore as examples. One thing they have in common, which led to moving from developing to developed nations, honesty and the ability to punish regardless of who is involved. These two things are the only things we are missing. We have every other thing we need. I smile and weep anytime I hear you passionately speak about Ghana. Bernard and CBS team, I dare say if Ghana with our attitude were to be as big as Nigeria, it would have been worse. The only reason I do not want to downplay the great contributions of great men is that we are small enough a country to be able to survive with lackluster leaders. We are a young country, yes, but we are too small of a country with so much wealth in a modern world to have any excuse of being young. Okay, what is work to an average Ghanaian, Bernard? For us, work is less about being productive and more about making money. Most of us want jobs to get a salary to live, not for the love of it, to be creative and productive. Therefore, as soon as we have the work or get a job, we are looking for the next money maker. As we have this salary in the bag, it also stagnates as growth is curtailed. Love of work stimulates us to think growth and creativity to be more productive and make money. Desire to make money promotes theft and corruption. You didn't add your name, but thank you. Very profound. Bernard, the problem is our mindset, which is born out of our inherited systems like religion and education. Ask yourself, why are we able to keep a Presbyterian church for over 100 years, yet the same Ghanaians collapse factories in just 10 years? We can say whatever we want, but these inherited systems have produced a confused Ghanaian. Boating sent that from Amasan.
Let me give you a few more names of people you want to read around. And you know, when you put all these ideas together, you arrive at a certain core argument they are making.
Yeah.
That Africa is not a byproduct or an afterthought or some, we have agency, we are original, right? And the dominance is not just economic, it's also intellectual. So we must fight for our knowledge to be legitimate.
Yeah.
I was criticizing some people recently for organizing a conference and inviting a non-African to come and interview African officials. And I said, it doesn't paint the right picture to invite 4 or 5 governors and invite an European to come and be asking them questions. Can African journalists ask European governors a question?
I see that.
Are there not Africans who can ask those questions? A lot of them didn't see what I was saying. I'm saying that what you put on television is a subtle
psyche
conditioning.
Yeah.
So you must have your eye open to see some images are not correct. You can't line up our leaders and then just ask some random Western journalists to be asking them foolish questions. And they will also match and go and do those interviews and not do the interviews here.
Yeah, leaders.
It's low self-esteem. I'm telling you, you have to be proud. And luckily, we've studied abroad. So it's not like we are sitting in Ghana talking. We studied abroad and realized that if you apply your mind, you can excel. If you push yourself, you can do. You just have to be disciplined. It's not like we are local champions in Ghana. We are sitting here and we are on a look. No. And it's not like we have not had offers to go and work abroad. The truth is that the purpose God gave us is to develop the space He put us in. So I can't live here and be collecting dollars somewhere when my country is burning. You get it? So we need people who have that mindset that Ghana first. Prioritize the citizens. Conferences that don't prioritize my citizens, I'm not going to attend. Irrespective of which other award I'll go and get there. You get it? So let me give you some names. Check Anta Diop. Look for him. Kwame Jechi. Look for him. Kobina Sechi. Look for him. Ephraim Amu. I read 2 books by Reverend Lai on Ephraim Amu, because he codified his songs, his philosophy, and his life. I'm an Ewe person. I consider myself uneducated if I don't understand Ephraim Amu's philosophy. And it took Lai to put that in a writing. So I'll be a fool not to buy it and read it. And there are many, many names. Agri of Africa. You go to Achimota School, do you know who Agri is? Or you go to Infantino, do you know who Bartels is? Or do you even know who Mensa Saba is? Do you know what Mensa Saba wrote? Do you know what he stood for? So if you go to Infantino School and don't know who Saba is, except that you are in Saba something house, you are not educated. Because education includes knowing the history and the ideas of the people who created a path for you to get there. You understand what I'm saying? So we also need people who will write. Bartels is the first African headmaster of Franciscan School. T.A. Osai, Prempeh College. You should find anything on him. You see, because these are the originals. I call them the originals. These are the people who worked from scratch. Probably the first person of his kind to be educated in his family. So he had a chance to compare all the systems. I was reading a book by Infantino Bartels. The level of depth about for a headmaster of a secondary school, he was more than a philosopher. He was comparing systems of education. Yes, it's a headmaster. Compare him to an average headmaster today. You get it? So we have to force ourselves to learn if we don't want to be forgotten by history. Right? Don't come into this world and just buy houses and build houses. No. Create a path for the next generation. Educate yourself. Open doors for people. So that when you are dead and gone, people will remember you. That's what greatness is. Even our value systems are wrong. We respect people who have money beyond those who have ideas. So how can we develop as a society? So there are many more names. Look for them, read about them. Educate yourself so you will not be an embarrassment to the next generation. We'll take a break. This is the Citi Breakfast Show. Stay with us.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
This June, all roads lead to Accra. WAMPEX, the West African Mining and Power Expo, returns from the 3rd to the 5th of June for its 19th edition. Endorsed by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, WAMPEX brings together over 6,000 mining professionals and over 250 local and international exhibitors. Meet the people behind West Africa's mining operations, discover new suppliers, and make the connections that move projects forward. From a high-level conference to innovation hub workshops and valuable networking opportunities, now hosted at its new home, the La Palm Royal Beach Hotel in Accra. Headline sponsors: Anglo Gold Ashanti, Goldfields, and B5+. Register now for free visitor access at www.wampexwestafrica.com and be a part of West Africa's leading mining event.
Protect yourself from germs and bacteria with confidence. Cleanse hand soap effectively kills 99.9% of germs with every use. Perfect for all your hand washing moments throughout the day. Available in a variety of variants and delightful flavors. Choose Cleanse for yourself, your family, and friends. Make Cleanse your daily essential. The GC brand. It's all about you. This advert is FDA approved.
Let's clean soap. Clean.
Your attention, please. Flight C8 has been delayed.
Again. Madam, can you please point me to the water fountain? And please watch my back and phone whilst I'm gone.
You can be a traveler with infinite worries.
Hello, Mr. Anand. Your lounge access is ready and your seat is warm.
or you can be a traveler with infinite privileges.
Champagne, sir?
Original the drink. Choose EcoBank's infinite privileges with an EcoBank Visa Infinite card. Access airport lounges worldwide, fast-track services, best-in-class daily limits, and enjoy other exclusive travel and lifestyle benefits. Infinite privileges await. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Since inception, almost 100% of Ashesi University students have found jobs, started businesses, or gone on to graduate school within 6 months of graduation. From Accra to Nairobi, London to New York, Ashesi graduates are noticed and are leading successful careers. If you dream of a rewarding life and career, an Ashesi education prepares you just for that. Learn more about applying to Ashesi at ashesi.edu.gh. Remember, admission is ongoing.
So what goes into building quality structures? I mean, literally, what goes into it? Ujaf, you don't want to be sitting here somewhere worrying whether or not you did a really good job. It's a very simple equation. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, massa, forget it. Don't start cry. Menye, diamond cement has been providing builders, block makers, and construction companies that peace of mind for years. Diamond cement is 42.5 R grade cement. Unbeatable quality made right here in Ghana. And because we have your pocket in mind, we provide 32.5 R grade so that everybody getting on. No long talk, Jack. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, don't start. Locate Diamond Cement Ghana Limited nationwide with factories in Aflao, Takrade, and Buipe, or call 0244-313-368 or 0540-111-978 or 0202-021-175. Diamond Cement, still as hard as a diamond.
KFC Ghana just dropped something big. The all-new KFC Kiba. KFC Chichinga Abba. Now, you can enjoy your favorite street-style taste, but KFC style. Crispy, juicy, and full of Chichinga flavor. Order your choice, starting from 2 pieces. KFC is finger-licking good.
Hello, CEOs. Ghana's foremost business platform marks 10 years of leadership impact. Join the 10th Ghana CEO Summit and Expo on Thursday, 28th May 2026 from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Kempinski Hotel Accra. The summit is themed accelerating Ghana's economic transformation, driving bold reforms through leadership, technology, and industrialization. Tagline: from vision to action. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, will attend as special guest of honor and officially launch the CEO Government Compact 2026. Highlights include presidential CEO dialogue, masterclasses, panels, brand expo, CEO profiles, networking. Registered now at GhanaCEOSummit.com. Call 054-639-1970 or email info@GhanaCEOSummit.com. Powered by CEO Network Ghana in partnership with Deloitte, PwC, EY, GIPC, University of Ghana, Media General, and the Multimedia Group. The 10th Ghana CEO Summit and Expo, a decade of leadership impact. T&C supply.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Abrabonyina ne wana monto asetramu konimdie nyina down so and so say one can't my try the son diempo Kakra and from the hoop at the awonyo and sa anyadman so and send the deal manifesta dance and in my foot to was to turn the back. Wow, see how they slack, worry about all the things that they lack. Young, gifted, and black. Gift a gap and I rap. I suppose I should clap. Give thanks and give dap. Put my son on my lap or run a victory lap. Opportunity knocks, but we too deaf to hear.
put to death our fears, bring to life our dreams. We out here, we don't adhere to regular rules. Our mama's fasting and praying for our circular fools. With some reckless dudes, lust for shoes and Jews. New chucks, custom made in such golden stews. Mysterious life, Nancy Drew shared no clues. Curious knife, stabbed us, now we bleed and bruise. Confusing ones with needs, what I want and need. A house in Tresaco, a villa, and not down with jet skis. Jet setting in the minutes, 30 seconds, and I reckon no question. Make every first I get the best impression. So just suppose I juxtapose me now with me when I was 16 years old. Innocence lost in less than 15 years though. I'm distinguished, so they can't extinguish my flow. I overpowered all these cowards, them no good fit, them need juju. I know I don't have to pound them, need fufu. Minor chia, when it's chia, so I save susu.
No shortcut to heaven. Yes, sir. For years, you've trusted Sunny Gold Brown Sugar for its consistent quality and best packaging. Now take control of your sugar intake in a more convenient way with your trusted Sunny Gold brand. We've introduced the Sunny Gold Brown Sugar Sticks in 10 grams and 5 gram paper sachets. Perfect for hotels, restaurants, schools, homes, offices, or on the go, even large gatherings like parties, funerals, and conferences. Sunny Gold Brown Sugar also comes in cubes, bottles, and sachets for all your cooking and bulk needs. Sunny Gold, a tradition of consistent quality, available at a shop near you. The biggest football tournament is here, and DSTV is giving you the front row seats to all the action live. It's the FIFA World Cup 2026, and it's that time when everything can wait, even sleep can wait. With 48 teams participating, this World Cup has all the makings of history. Watch all 104 games on 4 dedicated HD channels. World-class commentary and analysis live on SuperSport on DSTV from 11 June to 19 July. DSTV is your number one spot for everything World Cup. Get your decoder today at only 69 cedis or connect from as little as 58 cedis and get ready for an experience you can't miss. DSTV, your home of entertainment. Hello, beautiful customers at Omni Basic Bank. Your security is our priority. Before engaging in any financial offer or investment opportunity, please take a moment to confirm through our official channels. Remember, Omni Basic Bank will never request for your PIN, password, card details, OTP, or any confidential information via phone, SMS, email, or social media. Always rely on our verified communication channel and avoid sharing sensitive information with unverified sources. For assistance, please call 24/7 call center 0800 100 790 or 0307 086 000. Omni Basic, not just another bank. You know, life doesn't just stand still for you. It doesn't wait for you. Be prepared. It just moves on. The best thing you can do for yourself is prepare for life instead. So a flexible policy like the Old Mutual Legacy Transition Plan to help build a legacy that offers you a cover of up to 300,000 cedis with no underwriting, greater flexibility with no limits to the lives you can cover up to age 80, and an uninterrupted cover enabling you to secure what matters most in the simplest of ways. So dial star 378 star 3 hash to request a call for the Old Mutual Legacy Transition Plan today, and let's get you a plan that works for you and your family. Old Mutual, do great things every day. Me now with me when I was 16 years old. Innocence lost in less than 15 years though. I'm distinguished, so they can't extinguish my flow. I overpowered all these cowards. Them no good fit, them need juju. I know I don't. All right, we're still talking the development question, poverty, and how to harness the philosophy behind the African.
So many interesting
angles
on this. A couple of messages have also come through. Let me just read this one. So it says, good morning, guys. The reason why the Ghanaian abroad works long hours in menial jobs isn't the supervisory system. It is the fear of going broke and having no one they can fall back on for upkeep and free accommodation, unlike they would in Ghana. Another reason is to rake in money to come show off, build houses, and live a lifestyle which makes them seem wealthier than their compatriots living and working back home. Mind you, there isn't workplace insurance for most of the Ghanaian workers in the West. The countries that have free healthcare have queues for booking a hospital appointment and have indefinite dates for critical health issues like surgeries or terminal illnesses. The reality is working more hours than the standard 40 hours weekly means one is paying more taxes at the expense of their mental health. Health deterioration, that is bodily injuries, back, shoulder, waist, knee, wrist, and finger injuries, abounds amongst the Ghanaian community. And this is empirical and visible. all in all, it is not a system which is whipping the Ghanaian in line because their Western colleagues are lackadaisical towards work and they don't face repercussions. They do hard work because of money. No society to fall back on financially and to have a new status among their circles of families.
Very interesting view
Yes,
about why Ghanaians abroad work hard. But at least they work hard.
Okay. Yes.
So if the incentives are there, they will work hard.
Yeah. Okay, this also says, Bernard Pa, working at Melcom, they were paying people who have worked in the company for X amount, and this one just goes on and on and on. Chanabek. Okay. Let me see. Go on. Caleb, after you.
Right, so we have foreign donors in our educational space deciding what we do in our education. Of course, they will decide what we ingest. We will not get there if our primary and secondary schools don't get introduced to these topics. Our leaders are just cronies of the first world countries. They don't have the capacity to stand for our country and what they believe in because they don't have the backbone to do the difficult things. Bernard, even with the researchers that institutions of higher institution of education,
institutions of higher learning.
Institutions of higher learning. There's another word I'm trying to remember. You know, typically the funding they give for the research has its own direction. And recently I heard one of the vice chancellors complain about the fact that Africans need to fund their own research in order that the research that we commission our researchers to do will be in the interest of Africa's development projects, because a lot of the times your research will follow where your donor funding is coming from. So there's a need for that. Ayukwe Ama also is one of the thinkers that I love. I've read some of his writings.
And the beautiful ones are not yet born is a book every educated Ghanaian
must read.
Any child in this country who can read at a certain age must be forced. Emphasis on forced.
The teachers themselves have read it.
To read, the beautiful ones are not yet born.
The teacher must know it before he can.
He has the eloquence of the scribes. It's a very beautiful one, and it talks about even the struggles of African publishers, because if you're an African writer, most of your publishers are abroad. At the time, he was talking about some of the challenges that Ghanaian African writers have with some of their publishers, and also it's another book that
the beautiful ones are not yet born.
The eloquence of the scribes.
All right, let's get a few more passing through.
If you're looking for a best of flavor in every sip, discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. You will enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor. If you're craving something exotic, we have Piva cocktail fruit drink. We have the sweet and juicy grapefruit drink and the refreshing Piva Tangy fruit drink as well. So grab yours now at a local store near you. 0550-032231. Piva beverages, a taste you will love. Now elevate your audio with We Hear by Low. It's featuring a vibrant range of colors: denim, neon, and black. You'll discover the full line, including the We Hear Pro, the only model in the series endorsed by Kylian Mbappe. That's going for 3,800 cedis. We Hear 2 is 900 cedis. We Hear 1 is 400 cedis. Mind you, all these are promo prices. So order yours now on 020-195-7739. Visit Atlantic Towers at number 12 Afunya Street, Abeling. We Hear by Low, feel the power, hear the difference. If you're planning for the future, that begins with the decisions you make today. Save and invest early with EDC to build wealth and retire comfortably. One clear sign of financial growth is when your money starts working for you through steady returns and long-term wealth creation. With EDC, you get professional fund management, flexible investment options, potential for higher returns, and financial security for retirement and the future goals. Your financial independence is possible with EDC. Sign up today. WhatsApp us 0509-268-414.
All right. There's a very interesting write-up somebody has sent me that I feel can help the discussion as we wrap up. So finish your announcements.
Right.
It's called The Hidden Power of Democracy That Ghanaian Politics Often Misses. I think it's an interesting article. I'll read that for you before we go.
So before then, people are winning big on 590 mobile just by dialing star 959 hash, and this is how you can also be part. NLA has increased the play time of your favorite 590 mobile from Monday to Saturday. Noon rush starts from 8:30 p.m. and closes at 1:25 the next day, while the evening draw starts at 1:30 p.m. closes at exactly 7:55 p.m. More time to stake more time to win more. Sunday yesterday remains the same. Catch all your favorite 590 mobile evening live draws Monday special to Sunday yesterday on GTV broadcast from 8 p.m. to 8:15 p.m. Always remember to stake responsibly. Call 0308-249-477 for any enquiries. 590 mobile at Darwin Sim. So if your electricity bill is too high, let us show you how to control it and save money. Make maximum use of daylight and use LED light. Open windows for cross airflow and turn the fan on to slow or medium speed when needed. Adjust the temperature of your refrigerator to the optimum range of 5 degrees Celsius to 7 degrees Celsius and the freezers to 18 degrees Celsius. Use your AC wisely. Don't set the temperature lower than 25 degrees Celsius. Change outdated motors, pumps, compressors, boilers to energy efficient ones and conduct systemic energy audits. Do well to implement a standardized energy management system like ISO 5000 ENMS. Visit valcotrustfund.gov.gh or efghana.org for more. And this is a conservation advice brought to you by the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition, Energy Foundation, Valco Trust Fund, PURC, ECG, Bui Power Authority, Gridco, and VRA.
All right, let me read this article for you. So it was sent to me in the course of the show by Honorable Joseph Kujo. He used to be a minister and a member of parliament. He says, the hidden power of democracy that Ghanaian politics often misses. He titles this The Deep Thinking. There is a persistent misconception in Ghanaian politics that allowing every segment of society to have its way automatically translates into votes from those groups. In reality, this often overlooks an important democratic principle. Enforcing laws and ensuring that systems work properly may upset those who benefit from breaking or bypassing the rules, but it can simultaneously earn the confidence and approval of the larger segment of society that simply wants fairness, order, and functioning institutions. Politicians sometimes fail to recognize that in today's deeply partisan environment, the real power to influence change often lies with citizens who are not rigidly politically aligned. These citizens are more likely to support leadership that demonstrates courage, fairness, and commitment to doing what is right than by doing merely what is popular. The hidden strength of a successful democracy is not in pleasing every interest group, but in creating systems where laws work, institutions function, and leadership is driven by the desire to get things done right. This is how societies progress. Please, those who want things done right, and power stays with you. We are missing this crucial analysis and as a result, failing to unlock one of democracy's greatest powers, using leadership and governance to build systems that work to the benefit of all. Honorable Joseph Kujo, I like this. I love it. I love it. He's brought a different idea. Look, for example, we're talking about trotros. Yeah. And we're saying, reform the trotro sector. Most politicians are afraid that, hey, GPRT, they'll vote against us. Now, compare the number of trotro drivers we have in Ghana versus trotro passengers. His point is that if you reform the trotro sector,
and it goes well for us.
If GPRT you say they will vote for you, you think the trotro passengers will not vote for you? So it's
moral courage, Nenio.
But it's also because he's not thinking about the thing right. So I think Kujo has a very strong point here that if for every trotro there are 13 passengers, if you say I'm giving you a year to upgrade your trot scale, I'll ban you. Most trotro users will see that it was your leadership that made transportation easy. The drivers may oppose you and say they won't vote for you, but the drivers are not the they are not the majority.
You see, and that is why we have. That is why there are way too many interest groups in this country.
Too many.
Lobby interest.
Some of them border on representation of the illegal, but they still
because of the lack of the leadership required. No, I like his idea.
I like it.
Let me read it again.
What he's saying is real. It's true.
It says there is a persistent misconception in Ghanaian politics that allowing every segment of society to have its way automatically translates into votes from those groups. In reality, this often overlooks an important democratic principle. Enforcing laws and ensuring that systems work properly may upset those who benefit from breaking or bypassing the rules, but it can simultaneously earn the confidence and approval of the larger segment of society that simply wants fairness, order, and functioning institutions. Yeah. Politicians sometimes fail to recognize that in today's deeply partisan environment, the real power to influence change often lies with citizens who are not rigidly politically aligned. Yeah. These citizens are more likely to support leadership that demonstrates courage, fairness, and commitment to doing what is right rather than what is merely popular. The hidden strength of successful democracies is not in pleasing every interest group, but in creating systems where laws work, institutions function, and leadership is driven by the desire to get things done right. This is how societies progress. Please those who want things done right, and power stays with you. We are missing this crucial analysis, and as a result, failing to unlock one of democracy's greatest powers, using leadership and governance to build systems that work for the benefit of all.
Bernard, I want to say that, I mean, my just 1 cent to all that we've been discussing today is that there are a lot of the times when you look to the political leadership and the public sector in particular, you might get easily disappointed and you might lose hope. And a lot of the times when I encounter some Ghanaian individuals, despite all the odds, the kind of efforts they've put in over the years and the transformation that has come by, it gives a lot of hope that, I mean, if collectively we are able to put our shoulders together, we should be able to do a whole lot more. And there are names and examples we can cite always. But so the listening, the takeaway for me is that great things are happening. There's a lot more that needs to be done, and we need the political class to do a lot more to get things better. But for an individual who is doing the listening, you do not need to despair, because many are doing transformative things within these spaces, and we can glean some inspiration from them. Now, I'm thinking about the modern Ghanaian listener who is grappling with embracing a new identity with globalization, and then trying to also find himself as an African, and then the need to survive. Putting all that together is quite interesting. We'll find a way around it.
Thank you, Caleb. We'll come back with a final thought. Stay with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
The contract is here, but my pocket flat like a football with no air.
Don't stress. That is why DCI Microfinance is here for you.
DCI? What magic can they do?
No magic, just real solutions. With your contract and LPO financing, you can deliver on time. And when you're waiting on payment, their invoice and certificate discounting puts cash in your hands quickly. Their loans are fast, simple, and reliable.
So no more borrowing for my father-in-law? Now, that's a blessing.
Exactly. Call them now on 0577 66 9346. DCI Microfinance, miles beyond the extra.
Looking for a burst of flavor in every sip? Discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva orange fruit drink packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva cocktail fruit drink brings the tropics to you. For a sweet and juicy treat, grab our grapefruit drink, and don't miss out on the refreshing Piva Tangerine fruit drink, bursting with tangerine flavor. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangy. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 055 00 322 31. Piva, a taste you love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
Me kopena, make ya they sing. Me kopena, make ya she sing. Me kopena, ye koko say.
Sapofa pepe powder me kwa ujawu me shishi. 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 Shishi wrong. Shishi wrong.
About to keep a video.
Pepper soup where you know what. Pepper sankofa pepper powder. Eshe raw. Sankofa pepper powder. Me kwa ujawu. Eshe sankofa pepper powder. Me kwa ujawu. Eshe me kwa ujawu. Eshe me kwa ujawu. Eshe me kwa ujawu. Eshe me kwa ujawu. Sankofa pepper powder. Ujawu.
FDA aji ejadi nkrato yatum.
Turn up your sound experience with the We Hear speakers by Lovi. From the sleek We Hear 1 to the powerful We Hear 2. And now the premium We Hear Pro. Fully endorsed by Kylian Mbappe. This is not just a speaker. It's a flexible, high-performance outdoor Bluetooth speaker built to bring your music to life anywhere. With up to 100 watts of music power, you get bold, immersive sound wherever you go. All available in stylish standout colors. Now the good news. From April 20th to May 20th, grab yours at a special discounted price. The We Hear 1 now at 400 Ghana cedis. The We Hear 2 at 900 Ghana cedis. And the premium We Hear Pro now as 3,800 Ghana cedis. Don't miss out. Call 020-195-7739 or pick up at the Atlantic Towers. You can also grab yours at Orange FM Kumasi, Plus FM or 3 Music TV in Accra. Number 12 Afunya Street at Belengpe. Don't miss out on this special discounted offer. It's the We Hear promo powered by Lovi. We Hear. Feel the power. Hear the difference.
Hello CEOs, Ghana's foremost business platform marks 10 years of leadership impact. Join the 10th Ghana CEO Summit and Expo on Thursday, 28th May 2026 from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Kempinski Hotel Accra. The summit is themed Accelerating Ghana's Economic Transformation, driving bold reforms through leadership, technology, and industrialization. Tagline, From Vision to Action. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, will attend as special guest of honor and officially launch the CEO Government Compact 2026. Highlights include presidential CEO dialogue, masterclasses, panels, brand expo, CEO profiles, networking. Registered now at GhanaCEOSummit.com. Call 054-639-1970 or email info@GhanaCEOSummit.com. Powered by CEO Network Ghana in partnership with Deloitte, PwC, EY, GIPC, University of Ghana, Media General, and the Multimedia Group. The 10th Ghana CEO Summit and Expo, a decade of leadership impact. T&C Supply.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
So stay optimistic. That's the track we end the show with today. Thanks for listening. My name is Bernard. I did this with Caleb and Godfred. Citi News at 10 with Shiba Beni. Good morning, Shiba.
Good morning, Bernard. Coming up in the bulletin, Ghana Bar Association condemns minority leader Alex